Hilltop Podcast. I'm here with everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. We're about to have episode 12. It's extended length, and it's the final episode of the first chapter of the Age of Worms adventure path, The Whispering Cairn. We'd just like to say thank you to you, our listener. Our reader. Thanks for staying with us.
Do we know his name yet?
We don't. Her name, I think.
It could be a she.
They.
It could be a she. As Mr. Reconstructed Dan. It could be a she. Is it man? Is it she?
Could be a sheep. Could be a sheep.
It could be a sheep.
Bleh.
Okay.
Specially adapted mouse.
This is going well. This isn't quite going the way I planned. Thank you, our reader, for sticking with us so far. If you haven't, then I'm just talking into nothing. Don't forget that it helps us to subscribe, rate, and review in Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify or what's the one that you lose?
Beyond Pod.
Beyond Pod, Lucas's one. And you can find us at billowinghilltop.com or look for us on Facebook or Twitter. And that's it. Without further ado, let's begin episode 12, Wild is the Wind. Tonight's beer. What's tonight's beer? Lucas, you're not drinking anything rude, are you?
No.
Cockfab.
Cockfab.
Oh, you can pronounce it now.
I think we've had enough of that.
You just need to get a bit more of the. You've got to get a bit more of the, in there. The Swiss.
I just think
at the beginning.
it's probably just best if we stuck to beer that isn't just obviously horribly rude. Mine is a lovely session. It's a session Zeeper. It's a session pale.
Excellent.
Called Fudge Guzzler. No, it's not. It's called Revival by the Moore Brewery in Bristol, and it's absolutely delicious. Right now, where were we? We were in the observatory, and we are in the operating theatre of Filge. And you've had a fight with Filge and his monstrosities, and you have captured him. And as I think that where we left it was that Cuthbert, the brave Cuthbert, has got the point of his rapier resting on the chin, as it were, of Filge, who sort of said, Stop, I'll tell you anything. Just stop playing the podcast. No, just, I'll
tell you anything at all.
You've killed all of the zombies that climbed out of the tanks. There's a kind of weird body that he was working on, but that is kind of it.
What are you working on?
My monstrosities. I love my monstrosities.
Was I
Alive?
Was I dead or dying? I can't remember. The default case at the end of the episode is
yeah, I think. Well, Cuthbert was down and then he was back up again. You, I think, are down, and I think Sessions had cast Spare the Dying on you.
Or did I not do my relentless endurance?
You did. You did, and I think you went down. I think you went down again afterwards.
Yeah, you went down a second time.
So Filge is just kind of looking terrified.
Good. Where's your money? Have you got any magic?
Hey, take anything. It's yours. Just spare my life.
What's valuable?
Why are you here?
Let's cut to the chase. We're here to rob you of everything.
Just common criminals. I don't know. I wish I hadn't come here in the first place.
Says the person basically robbing graves in order to make monstrosities that...
I don't actually rob the graves myself. I have somebody who does that for me.
Yeah, well, we've met them.
Is that how you found me?
Well, let's just put it this
little
way.
pink-eyed albino
They weren't very
fiend.
clever.
No, they aren't the cleverest. Oh, wow.
Do we recognise the albino fiend?
You think he's referring to Cullen, the albino half-orc, who's the leader of the gang.
Right.
But what we need to know is where the bodies of the family are. So what has he done with those?
We've got those, haven't we?
They were downstairs, weren't they?
The
The ones
animated
with the
skeleton.
red plague or whatever.
Oh, you destroyed my skeletons downstairs, did you? Oh, this gets better and better. Well, if you're here for them, there is one more.
He's got the point of the rapier under his chin. So he's like, he looks over into the corner, the kind of the north east corner of the room, and he says,
There's one more then, over there.
Go over
and he kind of looks in that corner.
How many skeletons were there downstairs?
There were 3 downstairs.
Oh, okay. So there was one missing.
Well, should we tie him up and go and investigate?
A nice young skeleton that I've been working on, but it is not yet animated.
Right.
Mhm.
And so you're just doing this for the pleasure of just reanimating dead bodies? That's the only reason you do this?
It is my work, but I am here because are you familiar with a character known as a Balabar Smenk?
I know the name.
He asked me here. He asked me here because, well, have you ever heard of something called the Ebon Triad?
No. What's the Ebon Triad?
Okay, so the Ebon Triad are cultists,
Right.
and my understanding is that they worship three gods which they are trying to pull together into some form of overgod.
Right.
And the rising of this overgod heralds something called the Age of Worms. And Balabar called me here because if you want to know about undead, I'm basically your man.
I thought Hesti Testapod was our man.
Well, he's the best in the land, but that's a different thing.
And so what does Balabar ask?
There are strange undead in the hills. All of the Cairn Hills. They're in the swamps.
What makes them strange?
Do you know of the spawn of Chios?
No.
Okay. Over there on the bench, and he kind of looks over,
Yeah.
and on the bench there's a kind of tube. It's sitting on its side, a glass flask. It's about a foot long and about sort of 3 or 4 inches across, and there's a sort of fluid in there, and in that fluid is a sort of green segmented worm, a biggie, like a kind of witchetty grub, but like as long as your hand.
Right. And what is this then?
That is a worm of Chios. They infest undead and make them unkillable. A Balabar stole it. Are you familiar with a mine? He said it was called the Darstone Mine.
Oh yes.
It's a little out of town, I believe. You probably know better than I do. Anyway, he found it there. He visited a secret chapel, a dark cathedral, hidden beneath the Darstone Mine, crawling with beasts in hooded robes. These cultists, these Ebon Triad cultists, they're trying to bring about the Age of Worms. He kind of whispers when he says it. And they worship these gods. They're bringing them together. The harbinger of the Age of Worms is this creature. I know not much of it, known as Chios. And these worms are the spawn of Chios, and they infest. And he kind of gestures again as easily as he can, because he doesn't dare move his hands. If this thing were alive and you were to be exposed to it, you would be one of the undead within days.
So when you say it makes the undead unkillable,
This I don't know for certain. This is one of the things that I hope to research. I think that is why Balabar brought me here. But until I hear more, I've been working on my beautiful monstrosities.
not sure what to say to that, really.
They're all dead now, of course. All my work dead, destroyed by some common criminals.
So it looks like Balabar Smenk is up to something fairly.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah, we might kill him.
I think
Stop talking.
Balabar felt he was slightly in and out of his depth. Balabar is a crook. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's a cultist or any kind of a demonist or anything like that. I think what he discovered under the Darstone Mine unsettled him to the point where he brought me here.
So maybe we need to go and see him. So what can you tell us about these worms then, other than they're known as the spawn of Chios?
Chios, K-Y-U-S-S. Give me a K.
K-Y...
U-S-S. He is from a time before history.
okay.
There's the great wound in the earth to the north, the great rift canyon, created by wars between the gods. He rose there, and he amassed a legion of undead. These spawn. And he kind of looks again at the worm, commanded by an undead dragon. Now nothing remains but these worms, but that is enough. That and his title, Harbinger of the Age of Worms. Let me free. I will return to Evenstar. You may take anything of value that you find. Just spare me.
How do we feel about sparing him? So
I think you feel pretty good about it.
handing him over to the authorities.
Do I get to vote?
He hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Or has he? Or I mean,
No.
reanimating dead bodies is a little bit.
Well, it's the reverse, isn't it?
It's not illegal, is it?
You're in difficult ground there.
It did try to kill us.
Well,
Defense.
It wasn't in. Whose side are you on, Paul? Have you been
Well, I'm just saying,
brainwashed?
We broke into his house.
We did. We walked up. We tried to talk to him. He basically set his creatures on us and then tried to kill us.
This is true.
This whole conversation is taking place with Paul's rapier point just under his chin,
Oh yeah.
with his eyes darting backwards and forwards as you're discussing it.
Well, I don't want to kill him, but I don't know what to do. I think we could tie him up for the time being.
Yeah, but if we give him to the authorities might just let him go. He's working for Balabar Smenk. Balabar Smenk, does he have much authority or influence over the authorities in town?
Yeah, your sense is that he does. Is that
Exactly.
They
kind of work. They're in his pocket.
The town is entirely, as you know, the town is entirely corrupt. Cubbins, Leonard
Yes.
Neff, the governor, everybody is taking backhanders.
Yeah.
If we let him go, it's likely that they're all going to come after us. If we kill him, it's less likely.
No.
You shut
can
up.
rest- you can-
Be quiet.
The grown-ups are talking. Okay, so what did Balabar Smenk think he could get from you?
Well, I'm not. I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure. He just made sure that I was happy up here, and I was able to carry on with my work. I presume he was going to come to me and ask me to research more. He obviously passed me the and he looks over the worm for me to investigate, and I've done a little bit of. Well, you now know what I know. I was going to try and find out a little bit more.
Maybe we should pass him over to our friend Hesti Testapod.
Doesn't like the look of that. His eyes sort of wiggle about a bit.
That's well, if he doesn't like that, that sounds like quite a good idea. Gives
Yeah.
us something to do. Right, detect magic in the room. Let me make sure I can just do that.
Whatever we do, we might
I
have
can't. Yes, I can.
to heal up because we're pretty low.
Yes, I've only got one spell left, but I do have a
I've only
Yeah.
got three
detect
hit
magic.
points. 3 hit points left. So
Well,
we're
you can
gonna
take a
have to-
short rest.
How much? What heals do we have?
I think you've got zip.
No one's. I've got a cure wounds.
Oh, okay.
I've got no spells left.
No spells.
Well, why don't we time up, search the place, rest up, heal up, take him down to see Hesti Testapod, and then proceed onwards.
Why don't we
Yeah.
convert him?
Go for it.
Convert him to the
Well,
standing
fortune.
wave.
Misfortune.
The standing wave.
Oh no.
Can we have an hour-long discussion?
On the right side.
I think we should. Let's time up. Let's rest up. Let's gather the bones. Let's see if we can find some magic
Or money.
or money.
We need to gather the bones together and get
Mm.
back to the cairn.
Yeah, and preferably we should put the bones back in the grave.
Yep.
That
I
would
think
be
that's the right
better.
thing to do.
Oh, and you've got the bones of Alastor Land, who is the
Yeah.
spirit. To cut through things, if you have a search around in the operating theatre,
Yeah.
you think that he's got a very nice set of surgical necromantic instruments, and you think they're worth a bit of money. Difficult to peg an exact figure, and you probably have to take them to Tidwode. Maybe 500 gold, something like that. I mean, really, yeah.
Ooh.
If you dig about, you find something. One of you is prodding about on this corpse on the operating table, and you kind of you kind of pull the chin forward, and you look in, and there's an emerald in the throat of the corpse, obviously part of what he was doing. And when you find that, he's like, like you thought he'd get away with that. There's this worm in this tube.
Well, I think we should take that. See what Hesti Testapod says about
Yes.
them.
Yes.
There is a set of bones that look similarly affected or afflicted by the Red Death.
Yeah, we'll take them.
They're kind of arranged, as it were, out in a skeleton on the floor, and it looks like, and there's some sort of chalk marks and stuff around them. It looks like he was starting the work to reanimate them.
Okay.
Down in his bedroom, there's more stuff. He's got a spell book. I don't know if any of you are particularly interested in spell books.
I don't know.
Okay, well you can pouch it, and we can talk about the details later. But I don't think any of you are spellbook-based casters.
But I seem to
Yeah.
remember in one edition of the game, bards can read spell books and learn spells from them. But
Okay, so that's worth digging out. If that's the case, I've got the details of that, and I can send that to you, Dan. Yeah.
Cool.
In the papers on his desk in his bedroom, there's a letter you find.
yes.
It looks like it's from Smenk.
Okay.
It says, "Filge, I need you in Diamond Lake, my boy." I should do this like Dan Carlin. Quote. Yeah. Quote,
Imagine.
I need you in Diamond Lake, my boy. No, I can't do it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, Filge, I need you in Diamond Lake, my boy. The cult situation has grown worse. Deep within Dowstone Mine, they are studying things brought in from the southern hills. Green worms and unkillable zombies. I've stolen one of the worms for you to study. I'll put you up in the old observatory. Show this letter to the big white half-orc at the Feral Dog. He will help you get settled and attend to any of your special requirements. I trust you will find these coins sufficient to cover your travel from Evenstar. And it's just signed S. What else is there that you find?
The magical sword.
Give me a second.
You haven't mentioned the magical sword yet.
What are we going to
There
do when
doesn't seem to
Schmink
be a
finds
magical
out we've fucked up his
sword.
plan?
Well, that's a good question. There's a scroll. It's a scroll of animate dead.
That sounds like a clerical spell.
When
Yep.
you were climbing up through the tower and you looked in the bedroom, I pointed out to you a little rack on the desk in the bedroom with a set of 4 flasks,
Yes.
little test tube flasks. Stop
Yes.
it. There's a little little piece of paper attached to the rack which just says necroturgons on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
You have no idea what that means.
Well, we'll ask him. What are they? What are necroturgons?
I am researching the way of imbuing magic using basic necromantic particles, and I can use them. I can inject them with my.
And he's got this syringe which I presume he's dropped. Yeah, like when you sort of stuck your rapier under his chin and he surrendered, it's sort of lying there on the ground. It might have smashed. It's not in and of itself a particularly magical thing, so it could be replaced. But you could use a syringe to inject the contents of these flasks, and they're effectively potions. So there's one of chill touch, one of gentle repose, one of false life, and one of vampiric touch.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay. How long do they last?
I would have to. I'll go through them one at a time. But I mean, they're pretty
Okay.
much as the chill
As
touch. I
effective.
think. Yeah. I mean, they last about. Some of them last a turn. Some of them last an hour.
Well, they're
some of them
basically
have a
a
single.
spell, aren't they?
Oh, gentle,
Spell.
gentle repose you would inject into a corpse, right?
Yeah.
And it would be the same as the effect of a gentle repose spell. False life works exactly like a false life spell, so you get X number of temporary hit points for the duration as per the spell. Vampiric touch is quite tasty, but it's like a one-off thing. But it effectively gives you a sort of spectral hand, I think, or something that you can steal hit
heal
points of
yourself.
people. Yeah. And chill touch is just chill touch.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the magical longsword?
Doesn't seem to be a magical longsword.
Okay. Okay. The armor?
Doesn't seem to be any magical armor. In fact, there doesn't
The
seem to be any
mace?
armor. There's no mace. Yeah, there's the mace.
Money,
Yeah, the apparatus of the Quellish.
money.
There's some money. There's not an enormous amount of money. It's sort of squirreled away in different. He's got some on his person. There's some in a drawer in the desk. There's probably, let's call it 30 gold, all in change and bits.
So what was with the 500 that Smink gave him?
No.
Did I
Smenk just in his letter. Smenk just said, "Here are some coins to kind of get you set up." That's all.
right.
Okay. So
30
we're-
shiny
so
gold coins.
Let's basically gag him,
Shiny.
Yeah.
tie his hands behind his back.
Yep.
And kind of hobble his feet so he can't run away.
Yeah.
Not literally hobble, but,
Put him in an orange suit.
He's compliant.
Yeah. And basically we take him along with the other stuff we found to Hesti Testapod.
Do you want to rest up here?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, I
that
think
sounds
so.
quite comfy. We can tie him in the corner.
Rest for 8 hours.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're undisturbed. Every now and again, you can hear the sound of cutlery clanging from downstairs.
So that would be a long rest, yeah?
Yay.
Done.
Take a short holiday. Did you enjoy it? Okay, so you
Level
are. No, you're rested. No.
Fully rested.
You feel like there's a thing that you got to do, and that perhaps when you do that thing, that
It'll be the
you feel that that the
Bones.
universe will reward you.
The bones.
Mr. Peter Bones.
It's about 11 o'clock at night, so you're kind of rested up by 7 in the morning.
So long rest basically gives how many hit points?
You
All
can-
of them.
Click
Yeah,
the
all
long
of
rest
them.
button on your hero nav.
I haven't got here. I'm not using Hero Lab. I'm using the character sheet in Roll20.
Oh,
You get
wow.
everything back.
You get everything back.
You reset.
It's weekday.
It's weekday.
Weekday, the 10th of February.
Weekday.
and you can head into town. It's
By the way, is weekday spelled W-E-E-K or
yes,
W-E-A-K?
W-E-E-K. The
Okay.
people of this land are not super imaginative. Um, they've got the first two, and then they're like, what are we going to call the third one? The sun is just coming up. Weather is still fairly clear. You're right up above the town on a bluff. You head back down the lane into town, and you can see the town laid out before you, and there are a few sort of lights still on. And you need to kind of go down, and you can either cut across some gardens through the backs of houses, but that's sort of rather frowned upon, or sort of down into town a bit and then go back out on the lane that leads up to Hesti's. As you get near the centre of town, you spot something. Something catches your interest because you can look down and you can see the big central square laid out below you. Yep. Think like one of those Cornish fishing towns which are terraced. Yeah. So you notice something. You notice Cubbins and Tira, the female elf, one of the three explorers.
Oh yes.
Who both hang out in the Feral Dog. You see them come out of the jailhouse. They're accompanied by somebody, and you recognise the person they're accompanied by. They're accompanied by Jiran Weirus, or is it Weirin Jiris? I can never remember. He's the priest that was delivering the sermon in town the other day. You remember him?
Yep.
The three of them kind of emerge from the jailhouse looking a little bit furtive. And you could sort of watch them huddling against the cold outside the jailhouse. They're sort of having looks like they're having some sort of conversation. Jiran Weirus tramps off back towards the Temple of Tonge, and Tira and Cubbins head across to the Feral Dog, which is still going because it's always going. And the lights are on and there are people in there. That's it really. And then you can head up to see Hesti Testapod. There's a light on in the Testapod house. Oh God! Charming little house, red and blue clapboard affair with a lovely garden where it seems to always be spring, even though it's winter everywhere else. Through the little gate with Hesti Testapod written on the little plaque, and hammer on the door, I presume. You hear him sort of go, and you can hear music in the background, sort of singing and whistling. He's like, "Oh, will you please stop that absolutely infernal music?" And he sort of opens the door. Oh. And sees you all standing on the doorstep. He's like, it's Eyebrows. It's you. Hello, hello. Now let me get this right. It's Sessions, yes, and Burple. Is that correct?
Purple Herbish.
Yes. Young Grimbold. Yes, yes. Yes.
Oh, he's awake.
You're Cuthbert. Is that correct, Cuthbert? And then
Yes.
you're the funny one. I can't remember your name.
Parker.
Harker, that's correct. Sorry, you disturbed me. I was having a long rest. She's in a dressing gown. He's in one of those really short silk dressing gowns with the dragons down the back.
Oh no!
Huge furry slippers.
Pom poms.
And a nightcap.
And who is this that you have with you?
Well, this is interesting. Can we come
Perhaps
in?
we ought to come in.
Come in. And he ushers you into his little study. The downstairs of his house is just one great big room.
So open plan.
Yeah, hundreds of books, shelves stuffed with books. There's a dragon chessboard frozen in mid-game on a mahogany table. And on the wall, there's a clock, a kind of intricate, ornate, mechanical, astronomical clock, which shows time and the calendar moving in a kind of great wheel. So it's the time is counting out in like segments, melee rounds, and turns. And then the wheel of the year rotates around, and you can see, today's it's the 10th of February, weekday the 10th of February, and you can see all the months laid out and all the festivals. Every month is 28 days, and in between there are these little interstitial festivals. The next one coming up is Misrule, which is at the end of February. Sits between February and Fart. And it's the no holds barred, cats and dogs living together. The servants become the masters become the servants. Absolute blowout. The sort of the closest thing I could think of is sort of Mardi Gras, that kind of thing, carnival. And the god of misrule is Nud Flunderbucket, who's the god of thieves and fools. So that he's sort of celebrated in that little festival. Hesti leads. He basically go and sit down. There's a couple of kind of cushions to sit on, and there's like a couple of stools that he pulls up. Now tell me now. And he sort of arranges you so that this Filge character is sort of standing there like a kind of glowering captive, and Filge looks extremely nervous.
Tell me, what news do you have? What have you discovered?
Okay, this is Filge, and
This is like, would I lie to you?
I know that's what I was just thinking.
And
I was
he
12.
Okay.
So is Filge Burple's guardian gardener?
No, so this is Filge, and he has been working on reanimating and rejuvenating dead
Oh.
bodies. He is an
What?
expert in this particular field, in the field of sort of necromancy. We came to him because
Where do, sorry, you go too fast. You go too fast. Where did you find him? Where have you brought him from?
the observatory.
Oh, at the observatory. Oh, there have been lights up there at night.
Yes, that was him.
Aha.
Reanimating dead beebdobies.
Beep doobies.
Beebdobies, yes. He's been reanimating beebdobies.
It's
Ah.
a subset of necromancy. It's a very specialised area.
It's something I'm not familiar with.
He paces around Filge, kind of studying him. Yeah, like you might study a kind of an art exhibit or a statue or something. And he's sort of,
Yeah, so you are an interesting little character. You've been up at the observatory, have you? Now, what have you been doing up there? Now, what's caused this?
What's caused what?
and Filge goes,
Smenk. I was sent there by Smenk.
and Hesti Testapod.
Says, oh, Smenk again. This is a pickle. And why have you brought him to me?
Because he mentions, we thought you might know something about the worms of Kios, or whatever they're called.
Worms of Chios. Yes, I have been researching.
That's a coincidence.
There are many rumours about. So, how familiar are you with Chios?
Not very,
Refresh us.
obviously.
He is a creature from ages past. He created a legion of undead, and he infected them with these worms. They're called the spawn of Chios. There are rumours that undead that match the description of this ancient evil are roaming the hills around us, and roaming the marshes.
And there's also these three gods.
The Ebon Triad. So the rumours are true. I have heard rumours of something dark lurking beneath the Dow Stone mine. How familiar are you with the Ebon Triad?
Why don't you just assume we don't know and take it from there?
Yes, okay, I can assume that. Young.
Instead of asking us how much we know about stuff, just assume that we don't
We're
know
not very clever.
anything and just tell us everything you know.
Almost as if I've been waiting, just standing here, waiting to tell you the information that you were
Yes,
asking.
it is a bit like that, isn't it?
It's almost scripted. Yeah, well, the Ebon Triad, I know a little of them. They are a cult. They are trying to combine or fuse three dark gods of our world into one overgod. And this is meant to be in some way linked to this concept of the rise of something called the Age of Worms, which is a new time of darkness. And the three gods are the Grey Woodsman, the Feller of Souls, the Bringer of Death, and then two others that I can't remember.
Oh.
Give me 2 seconds.
Asmodee, the Lord of Dark Magic, and Ban Shiva, the Queen Marshal of the Screaming Horde. And if these three aspects of the god are brought together, they believe they can create this new entity. That is pretty much everything I know.
Right.
What do we do with the necromancer?
And I'm not really sure that there is much to do. I wouldn't hand him over to the authorities here. Smenk has his finger in every pie.
Well, can we hand him over to you?
Young man, do I have your assurance that if we set you free, you return to Evenstar and never come back?
And Phil just nods frantically.
This is where there is that. We could turn him loose. I don't.
And not mention anything to Smenk before you go.
Oh, yes, and you were to leave immediately and not return, not speak to any. In fact, I can organise that. Why don't I arrange for his banishment to Evenstar?
That would be great. You're that level, are you?
Oh, well, I wasn't talking strictly in terms of spells.
Oh.
And now, what took you to the old observatory in the first place?
Well,
That's a long story.
that's a long story.
But let's cut it down.
We're trying to consecrate some bones,
Yes.
and they'd been removed to there.
Aha. and with to what end?
To put a spirit to rest.
To put a spirit to rest. Is this to do with the cairn?
Might be. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's it to you.
I'm fascinated by this cairn. I appreciate we have an agreement that you reveal no more to me, but I'm fascinated. So you are have you've explored more? You found out more? You know more? Have you found out any more about the Wind Dukes?
Not
No.
yet.
Not yet.
But we may find out some more.
I wish you all good speed with that.
Well, I'll ask you the same question. Have you found out anything else of use that we haven't thought to ask?
Well, now I have sent away to Evenstar for a book.
Right. Good. Yeah. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah. And what's that book?
It's going to take me just a moment to remember. One second now. It's almost in my brain.
And just while we're waiting, what is the 6th month of the year?
The 6th month of the year is June. Now, it's a silly question, Burple. Damn it. I have sent away to Evenstar for a copy of a book called The Chronicle of Chan, which describes more about the battle in the fields of Pesh to the north, the Wind Dukes, and the breaking of the Rod of Law into the Rod of Seven Parts. And as soon as I know more, I will either find you or you must find me.
Oh, okay. When do you expect to have it back?
Oh, these things can take time. They will need to search the libraries, and it is 3 days' travel. Perhaps a week.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll probably be level 5 by then. Okay, fair enough.
I didn't understand this level of which you speak. So, you must put these bones to rest in order to further your investigations into the cairn. I must not keep you for a moment.
Okay.
Off we go.
Off you go, then. And he sort of starts ushering you out. I'll look after Filge here. And Filge looks kind of pleadingly at you.
Turn him into a frog.
And he ushers you out
Excellent.
into the cold morning. What are you doing?
We're going
Head to the
back
farm.
To the farm. Yeah.
Okay. You can wind your way back through town, and then out onto the... You don't need to go into town to get back onto the company road. You can kind of tramp across the field at the back of Testapod's house.
Oh, Testapod is his surname, is it? Of the Testapod family.
I don't know.
Of the Evenstar Testapods.
He's got a big pair of
Testicles.
he
Testicles. He's got some enormous testicles.
yeah. It's got a giant. Basically, the dressing gown really covers nothing. Yeah, you can see.
He's got a giant pair
Sounds
of
like my dad.
You can see the testapod and a pair of giant testicles. and you can head out on the company road, which takes you out past it takes you past the Downstone mine, which is what we've been learning a little bit about, and perhaps
Right.
think about that later. Hesti says that when you talk again, you should discuss the Downstone mine, and then up to the little lane that leads off and down to the land homestead, and you return the bones to the graves,
You do?
and you put Land's bones in the grave, his
Yes.
grave, and you rebury them,
Yes.
And we say a prayer over them.
and you feel the energy of the universe infuse you, and you are 3rd level.
Yay.
We should zoom round, and you can tell me what 3rd level means for you. I don't know who wants to start.
I think that we should hear from Grimdog first.
I am awake. I'm mirror image. I'm taking.
And that's pretty much it. You just get an extra spell, and that's it.
Yeah, I hummed and hard. It's my first 2nd level. I was going to do deafness and blindness because it fits with the necromancy theme, but then I don't know, it's a bit boring really. So mirror image.
Okay, mirror image. Anything else? Average hit points, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't get any sorcery. Oh, you already got your little pool of sorcery points or whatever it's called. What's that called?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Okay, that's enough of that anyway. So what about sessions?
So Sessions obviously has now got more connection with Misfortune and has access to more powerful magics,
Mm-hmm.
of which he'll be using Crushing Coin,
Right.
sometimes known as Spiritual Weapon.
Ah, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Reskinning. Very nice. All in the
Reskinning.
style. Yeah.
Yeah, Find the Lady or Find the Cleric, which is the same
Yes.
mirror image that Grimbold's nose, Misfortune's misdirection, which
Yes.
is pass without trace, and locked in your fate, which is hold person. Lots of
Okay, excellent.
aspects of misfortune.
Anything else that you get at third level?
No, that's it.
So what about Cuthbert? What has Cuthbert done? Third level.
Well, Cuthbert's going to take a level out of one of the many classes that's available to me. And
Okay.
more will be revealed in time.
Basically,
You're a thief.
You haven't done it then, yeah?
he's a rogue. He's a rogue multi-class
Rogue,
fighter.
pathetic.
Obviously, it's just really obvious. He
So
thinks
obvious.
he's really, original.
And secretive and
Well, mainly because it winds you up, which is I've spoiled the game.
Yeah, because it winds up Johnny. Brilliant. What about Burple? Burple Herpish.
Okay, so at third level, a
Mhm.
bard gets to choose a bardic college.
Yeah.
He also gets 2 second level spells and an extra first level spell.
Yeah.
And he gets to learn a new spell, and he
Yeah.
gets expertise. So actually, third level
Mm.
for a bard is pretty cool.
Mm.
Bard College,
Absolutely.
I'm going to teach the College of Whispers, which comes from Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Yeah.
And at third level, that gives him Psychic Blades. When you hit a
Yeah.
creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal an extra 2d6 psychic damage to that target.
Yeah.
That seems pretty good. And then also get Words of Terror, so I can kind of seed paranoia in
Wow.
people if I speak to them for a minute.
So it's going to make Johnny even more annoyed.
Perfect.
yeah, it's gross.
Extra 2d6 damage is going to go down well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Terrific. Your journey is uneventful. It's a bright, crisp day, and you can navigate your way back to where you left things, which is at the little tunnel up the. If you climb up the shaft above the Blue Lantern, yeah, there's the tunnel that leads to the face with the aperture in it, and then your favourite thing, the balance beam,
Yeah.
which is where you encountered the Spirit of Alastor land. But now, when you return to the balance beam room, there is the door that's at the end of the balance beam is ajar. Is it a door or is it ajar? It's a door that's ajar.
So crawling across.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can walk across the floor if you have to, and avoid the trap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm
Over
just
to the door.
and you're looking into a cavernous chamber that consists of a large stone walkway, which is around a deep chasm that kind of leads down into darkness. There's a walkway around the chamber, and there are 4 walkways going in from that walkway into a central ring, but 2 of those platforms are broken. Only 2 seem to be intact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bright light, reminiscent of a summer's day, filters down from the ceiling about 40 feet above you. There are 4 wide galleries that extend from the outer walkway, so set at 4 points around the outside of the large chamber. Their far walls are covered with enormous bas-relief vistas. Some kind of carvings, some kind of scenes, but very difficult to make out any detail from where you are. There is a sighing wind that emits from a huge pillar of rushing air at the center of the chamber. So that pillar of air is running up from the base of the chamber and through the ring in the center and off into the ceiling. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
What do you do? Okay, if I were to step into the room, is there anything that I can kind of tie myself off onto? I'm worried about wind, kind of.
Yeah, you can feel pressure from this column of air, but it's not present. It's not affecting you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can either bang in a spike, or you could tie yourself to. Or you could tie a rope round the end of the balance beam. That's solidly fixed to the floor.
Yeah, I'll do that. These bas relief faces, these bas relief vistas rather.
Yeah, vistas. Yeah. So you can see.
so
there's
there's
one
a
to your
couple
left and
from-
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do they show?
Well, it's difficult to see much detail. They seem weirdly crude, kind of blurred and distorted. Very difficult to tell what the images are meant to represent.
Okay, I move to the side to try and get a better view.
So you're going to move over to your left. So
Move
move
to
over
the
to
left,
the
yeah.
west.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Still, you're not seeing anything.
Well, I'll do a light spell.
This is clearly
Do a light spell on a pebble
a sorcerer's job.
and throw the light spell closer to the things.
That doesn't really help. I mean, what you could obviously you've got a clearer view because of the light, but the features of the relief itself are still sort of distorted. And are they worn away or is it unfinished? Something funny about them.
Okay. I'll proceed forward
Mm-hmm.
into the room and go up to right up to the picture or whatever it is.
Yeah, but as soon as you step that close, something
trap.
happens. No, as soon as you step that close, something happens. When you get within about 10 feet, there are some sort of valves or something set into the wall, and a sort of smoky sheet of steam runs across the wall. And as it does, as it sort of eddies and plays around the carvings, sort of distinct images become apparent. It's almost like they're sort of being animated by the play of the steam and the air over them.
Right.
And the one that you're standing next to, Grimbold, it's a peaceful scene featuring several of these figures that resemble the figures that you've seen on top of the sarcophagus. So perhaps they're Wind Dukes, perhaps they're the Vati. They have that sort of noble bearing and kind of countenance, sort of taller than humans. They seem to sort of be imbued with some kind of power. They're seemingly relaxing in a sort of an idyllic country scene. Above them, dozens of perfect circles fill the sky, and as the steam runs over the image, dark, twisted shapes start emerging from the sculpture's edges, and the shapes coalesce to form monstrous creatures that look like a cross between spiders and wolves. As the creatures approach the Wind Dukes, the circles in the sky begin to burst one by one. That's what you see, and that little scene plays out, and then it stops.
Okay, move up to the next relief. I'm going to cast a false life as well.
Hey,
Why not?
why not?
I'll walk up round to stand about 20 feet behind Grimbold.
At that first,
And I will
at that
cast
first
my
vista, yeah.
shillelagh.
I'm just going to add some hit
Oh,
points.
okay.
1d4 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come out into the main room.
I'm going to stand on that platform, the nearest of the 4 platforms.
The one that's broken.
The first broken one, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a sort of stub of it, and you can stand on it. Okay. Nothing happens. You can see this column of air rushing up from the chasm below you.
I've got another 6 hit points, temporary.
Okay, from your false life spell. Yeah. Anybody else want to do anything? Everybody's being very cautious.
So nothing happened when I stand on the what's it?
No, nothing happens when you stand on the little stub, that first bit, which is like the kind of anchor point of the ones that you can see. The one that you can see, one that's intact. There's one to your left, yeah, that's intact, and there's a sort of podium, and then a set of little steps that runs down to the little bridge across to the center, yeah. And you're standing on the podium of a broken one, with the little steps lead away, and then it's just disappears off into darkness.
Okay. Well, let's check out the other of these kind of bas relief things before we go too far. Move around to those on the right.
Well, as Grimbold moves around looking at each of these, I will basically stand, 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Behind,
have
so that in case anything jumps out.
Kind of bodyguard.
Yes, I'll bodyguard him.
And I will start moving around, and I will go up to the one in the northeast. Sorry, the
Ooh.
northwest corner.
You surely you want to do
Okay.
that?
Okay, so you start working your way around the
Yeah.
walkway. Yeah.
I'd like to roll some perception checks to see if anything.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
I give you a perception check. I get a perception check of 10. Marvelous.
Gentleman's 10. Nothing that you noticed that you didn't notice before.
Okay.
So anything with the bas relief to the east?
How close are you going to it?
Well, I'm going 5 feet away.
Okay, so when you stepped 5 feet away from that one, the same thing happens. You have another set of valves that release steam that play over the scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
The image depicts a sort of towering, farty figure, a Wind Duke figure, and he's wearing a glyph. It's a name glyph that you've encountered before. It's the glyph that you encountered on the strange broken apparatus when you first started exploring the cairn. Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah, it's the glyph that Hesti told you meant ecosiol, and it built inside the nature of these glyphs is it gives you the name of the person referred to, and it gives you their seniority, some sort of sense of their relative seniority. And ecosiol is certainly the most important figure whose glyph you've encountered in the cairn so far. And he's standing over a legion of lesser Wind Duke warriors. The central warrior these warriors that he's standing over is also bearing a glyph, and that glyph is the glyph of Zosiel, the glyph that Hesti Testapod told you meant Zosiel. And Zosiel, that is the glyph that's on the figure on the sarcophagus. Yes, the figure in the tomb. Not as senior as Icosiol. Each figure is bearing a glyph of a distinct Wind Duke warrior, but you don't recognize them. You can't read them. Yep. As the steam plays about the image, the warriors raise longswords in salute to Icosiol. That's what happens.
Right.
It's a bit of a story. So who's next?
Me.
Okay, Sessions, what do you want to do?
I want to understand whether there's any obvious signs of common cause to the collapse. Two of the collapsed walkways seem to be on the same side of the room. So look down, look up.
Yeah, make an intelligence check. Just a straight into. I mean, do you have a relevant skill?
Probably not. I will make an intelligence check.
What you get?
20, natural 20.
Natural 20. You don't think there's
Incredible, that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic roll. Unfortunately, there's not much more to be gleaned. You think this looks like the passage of time, basically. Do you want to do anything else, Sessions? I mean, that's just a quick look around as you move.
And I will move anti-clockwise around the room. Head
Okay.
towards the next.
Yep, heading off towards the northeast corner. What about Parker? What does Parker want to do?
I'm wondering whether we shouldn't maybe drop a light spell on a pebble and drop it down into this chasm.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
In fact, so I will do a produce flame and basically drop it down there. It basically is 20-foot radius light.
How magical is this flame? If it was to encounter a very strong wind, would it get snuffed out?
A flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration. The flame sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. The spell ends if you dismiss it as an action or you cast it again. You can also attack with the flame. You can hurl the flame.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say. I mean, I think it's reasonably magical because it basically it does
It's fine.
damage when it attacks.
I think I'm happy with what's revealed. So you hurl this flame into the pit, yeah.
Yeah.
And what that shows you, as it sort of arcs down like a kind of flare, I guess, you can see that the pit itself is basically a basin about 60 feet deep. And this column of wind is emitting from the center of this basin, seemingly from nowhere. And as the flame sort of drops down and interacts with the wind, it sort of whooshes up through this column of air. Yes? What about Grimbold?
Grimbold will proceed clockwise. I'll do a move up to the walkway.
Okay, so Grimbold's walking up to the walkway, yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to do anything? Jump in, anybody? We're not in round sequence.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the northwest bas reliefs.
And how close are you going?
Oh, up to them.
Okay, so when you stand close to that one, the same experience, of course. The steam emits from valves in the ceiling and the wall. You see a group of 7 proud, noble Wind Dukes, and they're presenting a staff-like rod to a council of what seem like superior farty.
What are 7 parts?
As the steam fills the contours, the central figure raises the staff above his head, where it splits into 7 irregular parts. Each of the 7 Wind Dukes bears a carven glyph that identifies them, and you don't recognize them apart from one, which is the glyph of Icosiel, the senior Wind Duke, the glyph that you've seen earlier in the cairn.
Remind us about the history of this staff. The Wind Dukes basically, they were fighting each other, it seemed.
There was a battle between the Wind Dukes. They clashed against an entity called the Queen of Chaos, who is a kind of primordial being of the early abyss. Yes, and in this final battle, 7 of the most powerful Wind Dukes employed this weapon called the Rod of Law, and it shattered even as it struck down Miska the Wolf Spider, who is the Queen's demonic consort. And the Rod of Law became the Rod of 7 Parts.
Right.
That's what happened at the Battle of the Fields of Pesh.
Okay.
So it looks like that latest vista that you've studied seems to depict that event.
Yeah, refers to that. Well, let's check out the last one.
Okay, who's walking up to the last one?
I will.
Okay, and when you stand close enough to it,
Poison comes out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They've all been good so far, apart from this one.
It looks like it's depicting some kind of final battle between what looks like the forces of law and chaos. As the steam moves about the image, you can see a duke. He make an intelligence check.
Make an intelligence check.
You're not good at these.
Why?
Or make a history check if you've got ranks, or history.
Yeah, that's better. 15.
15 is a really good roll. Okay, so what you think you identify is that this duke that's depicted is one of the 7 that is shown on the other vista, yes, holding the rod up to the council
Right.
and breaking it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And this duke seems to be impaling this creature, this sort of demonic entity that looks a little bit like a kind of giant spider with 4 arms and a human head flanked by 2 wolf heads.
Miska the wolf spider.
And as he does so, the spider creature and the rod and this duke, they sort of vanish into what looks like a kind of rent or tear in the nature of reality, a kind of rift in the plains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the last event that depicts is that this Duke Icosiol, who you've seen in the other vistas, is struck by a beam from the eyes of this demonic creature and slumps apparently dead to the ground.
And Icosiol is the same guy that hit him with the rod.
The guy that hit him with the rod is another one that you can't identify.
Right.
So in the other vista there were 7 dukes holding the rod. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is Icosiol. The other 6 you don't know. One of the other 6 that you don't know seems to be the one that does the impaling, and
Yeah.
Icosiol seems to be the one that dies as part of that process.
So the boss man gets killed.
The story goes from bottom right to bottom left to top
Mm.
left to top right.
Yeah, I wouldn't dwell on it too much.
Okay.
Friend guide storyteller.
Okay.
Right.
Move over to the platform.
I'll come up to the platform as well.
Anything happen when I stand on the
When
platform?
you stand on the platform, nothing happens.
We all need to stand on a platform then.
Not necessarily. So in the middle there's this sort of tower of stormy wind coming out the middle of this circular platform.
Yes, but yes, you can see a ring platform that runs around this column of air that these little bridges lead out to. That's exactly right.
Grimbold's going to proceed along the bridge from the west.
Should we put a rope on you first?
Nah. I'm
Nah.
gonna
As
take
soon
a
as you
risk.
do so, Grimbold,
Yeah.
You're picked up.
Picked up, thrown down to the bottom.
something happens.
And we'll pick it up next week. Sorry.
From within the column of air, 3 tall humanoid figures arise inside this column of air and step out onto the central ring. They look like armored knights of some sort, with red plumes that billow around the tops of their helmets, if you'll excuse the phrase, and they're each carrying 2 swords. And we roll for initiative.
Finally. Burple gets a 12.
12 for Burple, okay.
Cuthbert gets an 11.
Cuthbert gets an 11.
13 for Grimbold.
Sessions gets a 23, second natural 20 on the trot.
Well done.
And Parker gets a 6.
And Parker gets a 6.
Parker, you're rolling true to form.
Sessions, what do you want to do? These things are standing on the little ring that runs around these things. They've all popped out. They've kind of taken their positions. They look inscrutable.
Well, I think I will,
But they're not attacking.
wait and see what happens. So, Mike, I'm going to ready an action
Mm-hmm.
to withdraw away from the platform should they approach with what looks like hostile intent.
What about Grimbold? What does Grimbold want to do?
I'm going to do a mirror image.
How many images do you get?
3.
Okay. And let's move on to Burple.
Oh, can I move as well? Sorry.
Yes, of course you can. Yeah. Where do you want to go?
I'm going to move back to the top of the pedestal.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So you're moving back to the top of the pedestal. You're on the western pedestal. And yeah, Burple. What do you want to do, Burple?
Burple is going to.
You don't know they're bad yet, Dan.
No.
No, that's true.
I mean, they probably are, but
Yes, I think they probably are. I will do Bardic Inspiration, and I will do it on. I will do it on Cuthbert.
Okay, so you're casting Bardic Inspiration on Cuthbert. He gets a D6 to use, as is his wont.
Correct.
And it's
Oh, I was going to
and-
say, what's that again?
Do you want to move at all, Burple?
Yeah, I probably will just go and hide behind some other people.
Yeah. And then what about Cuthbert? It's your go.
Cuthbert's going to move up towards Grimbold
Mhm.
because you can only get that far, but his intent is to basically aid anybody who attacks Grimbold.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
No, I'm going to move up towards Grimbold.
Okay, so you're heading over
That's-
towards the western bridge.
Yes, I'm heading for the Western Bridge.
I'm getting deeply suspicious.
And then it's these things. The one that's nearest Grimbold is going to set off towards him, and it gets to about halfway across, and it's sort of holding its swords up. Again, it's inscrutable. You've got no features that you can determine. It's effectively like an animated suit of armor, but it's holding the swords up and it's looking menacing. The northern one heads up the northern bridge towards Parker and Sessions.
is it looking hostile?
Hostile's a really difficult one to make an insight check. You never know, you might roll a massive number.
What can I roll?
It's coming towards me.
12.
6. God.
Yeah. What about Grimbold? What do you get?
18.
18. You don't know that much about the martial arts, Grimbold, but the way that it's carrying itself, it certainly seems prepared for combat, even if it's not being kind of aggressive. I think that's the best I can give
Do
you.
they look like they're wearing the clothes of the Wind Dukes?
It looks like that's a very good question. It looks like it's the same style, yes? Their kind of bearing and their stature is similar.
Well, they're the good guys.
The Windukes are the good guys. These
I
don't
say-
seem like, well, these seem like animated sort of suits of armor.
They say we have come to claim the Rod of Seven Parts.
Okay, that's what you shout. The third warrior has headed towards the northern bridge. And that's the end of that. And so it's Parker is the last person to act on 6.
I am going to cast Long Strider.
Okay, tell me what that does,
Um,
please.
You touch a creature, myself.
Yeah.
Target's speed is increased by 10 feet until the spell ends.
Okay.
I can move now
Yeah.
to the other side of this
Walkway. Yeah, the sort of
bridge
podium. Yep.
walkway, so that basically, so that myself and Sessions are on either side of this walkway.
I understand. Yep. And so now it's Sessions.
Okay, I'm going to.
It's like a chess
I-
game.
It is. It's just a question of whether to go left or right. I'll move round towards the fresco that's northeast. Yeah.
You're scooting across
Yeah.
the northern end of the room.
Repositioning myself nearer that fresco, not close enough to make it work, but sort of somewhere
I
in the
understand.
mid-range.
And sort of nearer Burple. So Burple and Sessions,
towards Burple.
Burple and Sessions are near the vista. Yeah. And then Grimbold, what would you like to do?
I'll say, move aside. We have come to claim the Rod of Seven Parts.
Okay. And
Well,
It
hang
doesn't-
on. That's a free action. I mean.
yeah, it doesn't seem to react to that. Yeah.
All right, then I'm readying an action to do a shocking grasp should it come attack me.
I understand. What about Burple?
Burple doesn't have an awful lot to do, so Burple may as well fire off a spell. That spell is going to be Thunderclap, the amazing Thunderclap spell that does 1d6.
Hang on,
Thunderclap
hang
spell
on.
that we got completely wrong before. Yeah.
Yeah.
There might not be bad guys.
What do you mean there might not be bad guys?
Well, we don't know whether they're bad guys or not.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Says the person who killed a baby owl bear.
Bear owl.
Bear owl.
Hang on,
Says
hang
the
on.
person who slaughtered a defense.
Can I just point
Can't.
out that you're kicking this off and you're furthest from all of
Well,
them.
but that's
That's just perfect
tactical.
play. Yeah, it's perfect play. So,
How does this spell work? It's got a range of.
they need to make a Constitution save.
Good
first.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh my
Constitution.
God, Johnny.
Yeah, makes a Constitution save. And which one are you targeting?
I'm targeting the one nearest to Parker.
Okay, so you're targeting the one that's nearest the northern end of the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it needs to make a Constitution save. Okay. It's rolled a number. And what happens if it?
DC 13.
Yeah. And what happens if it saves or fails? What's the deal?
It takes damage if it fails.
Okay. It doesn't seem to take any damage.
Because it rolled a 15.
And then I'm going to move. I'm moving
Past
south.
Sessions towards Cuthbert and Grimbold.
Yeah, into
okay.
the pocket, basically.
Into the pocket. Yeah.
Into the
Okay.
No, the pocket is mine.
And then
gone
yes,
south.
maybe
I had
maybe
reserved the
maybe you're
pocket.
mistaking your role. I suspect the Sessions might be in the pocket. You might be a linebacker or something. Anyway, it's Cuthbert. It's your go.
Cuthbert is going to move up behind Grimbold,
Yes.
and he's going to roll a check on. Let me just check this. An insight check onto these guys to see their intent.
Okay. Make a roll.
12.
Yeah. You don't determine any more than Grimbold's able to determine. Martial stance. Impossible to read their emotions or their state or whatever it is.
Okay.
Want to do anything else?
No, I've moved and done that.
Then, right. So the one that's coming up towards Cuthbert and Grimbold, who are standing next to each other in a line in front of it, it clashes its swords together, and a
Lightning bolt.
kind of burst of something, sonic energy, something like that, shoots along the bridge at you two. And can you both give me a DC 13 dexterity saves, please?
Okay.
Does my mirror image help?
I don't think it does in this instance. No.
Not a chance.
Dexterity.
Dexterity
Damn,
save
what
DC
have you
13.
done now? For God's sake.
11.
11 in total. And what about Grimbold?
Roll a. Ooh, natural 20, 23.
Okay. Do we do critical saves in this game?
Why not? Be a good time to start.
Okay. Cuthbert takes 8 points of damage. Grimbold, I'm being nice to you. You take 2 points of damage with your critical save. I don't know if that's a rule, but we're going to play it from now on.
Great. Thanks.
Okay.
To the north, the two that are making their way up the north-facing bridge, the first one moves up to Parker and attacks him.
Ah, so they are hostile.
And it attacks with its two sort of short swords. It's got two short swords. First attack, it hits armor class 16,
That's a hit.
doing 4 points of damage.
Hmm.
And the second attack hits armor class 9,
That's
which I
a
suspect is a
miss.
miss. And then the final remaining warrior moves up to the podium and round, also on Parker. I think it can make it. First attack hits armor class 8, just is a miss. And the second attack hits armor class 15, which I suspect is a hit,
That is a
for
hit.
another 4 points of damage. And it's Parker's round. What does Parker want to do?
Am I assuming that Burple and Sessions are going to come up and support me, or are you running away?
We're definitely going. I'm definitely going to
Definitely
support
support.
you,
Yeah.
but
definitely.
not necessarily
What-
that close.
Right. Okay. Well, I can take a little bit more from them at this rate, so I will try and I will try and attack them.
Okay,
So
go
I
for
will
it.
start with. Well, I will start with the quarterstaff.
Which one are you attacking? Are you attacking the northernmost one or
I'll
the southernmost
attack
one?
the southernmost one. So with the shillelagh, it's a 5. It's a miss.
It's a miss.
And then I will expend 1 key point. That means I can do 2 unarmed strikes on it. So the first
Yep.
one hits a 20,
20. Yeah, that's a hit.
doing 5 points of damage.
Yep.
And the second one hits a 6.
Armor class 6 is a miss. Yep.
Well, that was.
So Sessions, it's your round. What do you want to do?
Okay, I think I will toss my holy coin in the air.
Yep.
Conjure a crushing coin and send it hurtling at one of those automatons just next to Parker, so the one that's furthest to what I would assume is the north.
Yeah, the one that you can see past Parker. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I have to do? Do I have to make a save or something?
No, I think I have to make a hit roll.
Okay, go for it.
Spell attack roll, I suppose.
In your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whenever you're ready.
16.
No, that's
16.
a 12, Graham.
16 is a
Plus
hit.
4.
What kind of damage is it? How does it work?
It is force damage, I would think.
Oh, is it? This is the equivalent of a spiritual.
This is spiritual hammer. This is
Yeah, gotcha.
spiritual weapon.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, so
Old
force
school
damage.
spiritual
Go for it. Combien de damage?
10 points of damage.
10 points de damage. Okay, fine. That looks like it affected it normally. And that's you done, and we move on to Grimbold.
That's a bonus action.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's go back. What else are you going to do?
I don't know what else I want to do. I will just. I can do something else, but I'm not sure what it's going to be. So I'll
Okay.
think about it a bit.
Well, how long are you going to take thinking about it?
No,
I could go and get. No, should I go and get a drink?
No, that should be fine. I think with my normal action, I will ready to run away should they approach me.
So you're ready. You're readying to basically peg it if they go.
Yeah,
after
to make
you.
sure that they don't come after me.
Okay, so and moving on to the next person who's going to ready to peg it away, it is Grimbold.
That's a little unfair. Anyway, I am going to move back slightly. 5,
That's what I'm
north,
talking
heading
about.
north, 10,
Yeah,
15,
Yeah.
20.
there's a man counting in fives. Always
25.
fascinating. Okay,
Tactical movement.
Mm-hmm.
you're heading back up towards Burple and Sessions. Yeah,
Yes.
leaving Cuthbert sort of by himself. And what about Burple? What does Burple want to do?
Well, Burple is going to do enhance ability on himself, which is his second level spell. He's going to do Bear's Endurance, which gives him an extra 2d6 temporary hit points.
Very nice.
What?
And then he's going to move a little bit.
Bloody cards!
Sorry, how many
I've
temporary
got 4 hit points from my false life.
Oh dear.
And you can only do it once.
And you're heading over towards Parker, Burple, right?
I'm heading over towards Parker.
And the combat.
But
up there.
well, yeah, I'm hoping that they're going to focus on Parker and not move around him. But you know, I've
See what
got
happens.
2d6 extra hit points, which I need to roll. So
Oh
I'll
yeah,
that.
do it.
6 extra hit points, which is more than the 4 that Johnny gets.
Yeah. So
just
sort
yeah,
of-
just pointing that out. That,
Yeah, well,
So
that's-
I've got more than him.
That's second level spell, is it?
It's a second level spell.
How many hit points you got total?
Oh, loads. So many I've lost count.
Come on,
Actually, I can't
come on.
remember.
Cuthbert, what do you want to do?
I will look you up and engage.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Come on.
The fightery type,
You're a
yeah.
fighter.
It's the joke never gets old.
Well, why did you pick a fighter if you're not going to fight anything?
I'm going to go and thwack this thing with
Yeah.
my first attack. It was the rapier.
The rapier. Okay.
Not hitting enough.
This is a pathetic. It's a 5.
Which was, I rolled a 5, which
Mhm.
gives a total of 10, which is not good. And then with the short sword.
Yeah.
7.
No.
Mm.
No.
And so that is the end of my turn and possibly my life.
And now it's them. So this thing is going to have a go, obviously, at you, Cuthbert. Looks at you like. No, it doesn't do that actually, because it's an implacable robo knight. First short
Grabs
sword
you and jumps off the stone walkway.
hits armor class 9,
Just trip attack.
Miss.
and the second short sword hits armor class 13.
Miss.
Oh, damn it. Okay. And then up here with Parker, the one that Graham is attacking with his crushing coin is going to try and strike Parker with a short sword blow. First blow against Parker hits armor class 13, Parker.
Nope.
And the second attack hits armor class 17, doing the following damage. 7 points of damage on Parker.
Oh dear. Okay.
And then the other one is going to attack Parker as well. Oh dear, first attack. Oh, it's a 1.
What do you do with ones?
Yeah, well, we don't do anything with ones, but I think it's probably reasonable that it loses its second attack. I think that's a kind of a fair enough outcome, and it's Parker.
Right. So, did I understand correctly? You said that the attack with the unarmed strike didn't seem to do much damage.
You didn't feel like the effect of the blow that you landed seemed to be
Okay, so it's got damage
commensurate
reduction.
with the force, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, we'll have another flurry of blows on it. So the first attack with the shillelagh is the 7,
Yeah, that's a miss.
and then I get 2 unarmed strikes. The first one being a 16 16.
Is it hit?
That's a hit. So that would be 6 points of damage. And then I'm now doing a second flurry of blows.
So it's 6 points from that
Well,
first
second
attack.
unarmed strike.
Sorry, are you?
minus-
Yeah, Parker. Is Parker attacking the one that is being? Are you hitting the one, the
one
same
I
one again?
attacked last time?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
the
So
same
6
one again.
points on that one. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
And then another hit for 22, which I assume is also a hit. Doing
As a hit. Yeah.
just 6.
And again, Parker, you feel like you're not landing the blows that you would be expecting. What about Sessions? Sessions, you're up.
Okay. Sessions, I'm going to fizz in the spinning coin of whacking. So it's gonna
Yeah.
it hurtles in like a delivery from Michael Holding, aiming at his ghoulies.
Yes.
Uh, hitting armor class 13.
13 is a. Let me just check that for you, caller. 13 is a miss.
Right. And then I will do something else.
Yeah. That thing else that you do is.
Hesitate.
It's the same as last round.
Okay, so you're gonna ready.
I'm
to-
going to ready to take evasive action if required.
Yeah, got it.
Marvellous.
Grimbold.
So I'm going to move a bit further round towards Sessions
Yeah.
by about 10 feet.
Yeah.
Towards
And then
safety.
Towards safety. Yeah.
Yes, and we're safe.
Towards the cleric.
Equidistant between the two monsters. And then I'm going to do a chromatic orb at the one that Cuthbert. I mean, Cuthbert, do you want me to do it? Yes, right,
Yes.
I'll do it anyway. What do I think would do the most damage in everybody? Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, thunder.
Acid. Kind of reliable.
Okay, but they're metallic. I can't remember what they were.
They're suits of armour, aren't they?
They're just sort of they seem to be like animated suits of armor.
Right, so I think lightning's going to do some damage, surely.
Okay, give it a shot.
Although, are they sort of storm, something to do with air elementals, in which case
They're the
they're immune
wind
to lightning.
tubes.
Maybe they're immune to lightning because of the air elemental plane or whatever. You know, if they're flying up in the heavens and lightning bolts are going off. Should I try acid? Acid, I think Dan's right. That's probably a safe bet.
Do you have
So I'll do a
magic missile?
No.
Well, what you gonna do?
So I'm going to do a chromatic orb of acid.
Yeah.
And I need to make I think I make a ranged touch attack.
Or just a ranged spell attack. Yeah.
Ranged spell attack, I think that's a +5.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I can't. Yes, +5. So, 20. Okay, sorry. Just trying to
Have we
check
done this
it.
before?
14.
In total?
Yes.
Is a miss. And you've moved. You've done that. That's it. You're done. It's purple.
That's crap.
How is Parker looking?
Yeah. How is Parker looking?
Not great.
Okay,
Probably another hit will not be good.
I will move up behind Parker and tickle him under the arm, and then move away again.
Ooh.
So I shall move up behind Parker. I shall do a cure wounds, which is 1d8 plus 3. I'll roll it for you because you were useless
Yeah,
last
I'm
time. I
useless at
remember.
rolling it,
Yeah, I
so-
remember.
To have other people roll it.
Setting myself up for a fall.
Yes.
Cast level 1. 9.
9
Lovely.
points. It's pretty
Thank
good.
you very much.
Really good.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
I will use my bonus action to
Yep.
do a bardic inspiration on Parker.
That's the gift token
Excellent.
power, isn't it?
That's the extra d6
Yeah.
gift token power.
Which I can use at any stage, right?
Get yourself something nice.
What's your arm class, Parker?
14.
Oh, that's only one better than me. I will step up next to Parker.
Okay. And now it's Cuthbert.
Well, there's only two things Cuthbert can do. The first thing involves a rapier.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Oh, that's
Oh dear.
8, which is
No.
I'm improving. I'm improving. Then I'm going to do a short sword.
Yeah.
Armor class
6. You've lost confidence.
Just
You've lost confidence.
unbelievable. Then that will be my round. I'm not going to do anything else.
It strikes back at you. First attack, it hits armor class 6,
Brilliant.
which is a miss. Second attack, it hits armor class 17.
That's a hit.
17. You take the following damage. You take the damage of.
Oh.
You take 9 points of damage.
Thank you so much.
Oh no! Sorry. You take 7 points of damage.
Thank you even more very much.
That's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to provide it. And then up, let's return to the sort of little melee that we've got now with Burple, Parker, and these two dudes. The northernmost one, the one that was damaged by and is being attacked by Sessions' Crushing Coin, is going to attack Burple. Two short sword attacks. First short sword attack hits armor class. Oh, hello, 19 on the dice. Armor class 23.
Yeah, it's a miss.
Okay. But if you wanted just to take the damage for form's sake, just to pretend I hit.
Yes, if I
Yeah,
were.
if you had been hit,
Yeah.
you take 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. So that's 1 real point of damage. I've got my 6 temporary hit points. You see.
Yeah, I like it. And then the second attack, it's armor class 14. 14's a hit. Isn't it?
Is a hit.
Yeah, oh dear. Oh dear, it's all going
Yeah,
horribly
I'm
wrong.
Really not equipped for this kind
And
of thing.
another 7 points of damage.
Another 7
You're
points of
gonna
damage.
need to take one of these guys down. You're getting in trouble. He's getting in trouble very quickly now. And then the other one, the one on Parker, is going to attack Parker. Obviously, the refreshed Parker. First attack, 17 on the dice for armor class 21. That's going to be a hit on Parker.
Unfortunately.
And Parker takes 6 points of damage. And the second attack from this thing. Oh no! Armor class 12.
No, that's a miss.
Class 12. You're okay. Okay. And it's your round, Parker.
Right.
You still with us?
Well, yeah, so I'm just having a quick think about what is the best thing to do. Well, actual fact, what I will do first is I will try and hit with the shillelagh to see if that actually the magical effect of the shillelagh does some damage. So we'll just do a normal hit again this round.
Yep.
Hang on. So that's one with the shillelagh. A 16.
16 is a hit. Palpable hit.
Lovely. So that's 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage on the shillelagh. Okay, fine. Yeah, that
And
seems to
then-
land a proper blow. That seems to do the damage you were hoping
So
for.
it's magic. It's the magical nature that's the
Possibly,
effect.
yeah.
Okay, and then I will also do always on the offhand the unarmed strike with a 12.
12's a miss.
Okay, so there's 6 points from the shillelagh.
6 points, a decent round. And then on to Sessions.
Okay. Again, I'm going to crash the spinning coin into the same one I've been attempting to crash it into.
Yep. That's the one that Burple's attacking, yep.
Yep. Armor class 18.
Armor class 18 is a hit.
Get
Hey.
This is more like it.
For 6 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then I think I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to try Toll the Dying, or Toll the Dead on it.
Right.
Because that always works.
I don't know. No, it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage.
Ooh.
The point about
But-
Toll the Dead is that if you've already taken damage, it does
You take
more
an extra.
damage,
It
which
does
is-
more damage.
Right. But in any case, it gets a saving throw?
It gets a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Is it going to affect an automaton?
It says one creature you can see within range.
What's the DC?
Oh, it's not really happening.
It's an enormous 12.
12. I think it might have saved.
It always saves. Mike always saves on these things.
It has, I'm afraid, saved. It
Okay,
rolled a
so-
15 on the dice.
Okay, so it hears the clanging of the bells, but nothing happens.
What about the premier spellcasting resource of the party, Grimble?
I'm going to do a.
I thought it was Burple's round.
No.
I don't think you're far enough away from.
Burple's a bard.
You've only got 3 creatures between you and the monsters.
Burple's a
Johnny.
bard.
I think you're going to
Excuse
deal
me.
with that first.
It's a secondary spell using resource. Right. Okay. I'm going to fire chromatic orb at the one that Cuthbert's fighting.
I
Same
can
again.
actually-
Acid again.
18.
18 is a hit.
well done.
I'm not sure it's improved thing.
What's the deal?
Right.
It's acid damage, right?
Right. Talking. Yeah.
It gets no save or anything like that.
No.
Mm.
So
Okay.
Here we go. 3d8.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. 6 points of damage.
Absolutely.
The build-up was enormous, but the delivery not so much.
Oh, dearie me. Well, I mean,
Sure. That was just a practice.
it doesn't seem that affected. It's like
That's a practice roll.
somebody
rolls
splashed a little
when
bit of
you
drain cleaner on it or something, but it looks
Practice rolls.
basically fine. And we're on to purple.
The premier spellcasting resource. Okay, well, I'm going to use my bonus action to do Bardic Inspiration on myself, and then I'm going to do Dissonant Whispers
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
First
the
level
wrong
spell. Wisdom saving throw DC 13, I think.
Okay, we haven't got great wisdom. Oh, but he's made it.
Another
He's got
15.
Exactly what it
Jeez.
is. Another 15. Absolutely. It's just fantastic. I love to see it.
Just leave the spells to the
Anything
spell
else?
users, will you?
You did 6 points with your 3 dice.
Did some damage,
As
though.
soon as things start going against
But
them,
no,
they all-
not as much damage as I
Did
did.
some damage.
all starting to unravel. Cuthbert.
Okay, well, Cuthbert will start the round by doing second wind.
I beg your pardon.
There we go.
And now's really not the time.
7 points of healing. Thank you very much indeed. And then he's
Yeah.
going to attack with a rapier.
Okay, 2 more misses coming up. Let's have the first miss.
There it is.
8. So rubbish.
And the second miss.
And the
Second miss
And the
come
second
in.
miss. What did you miss? Yes, the second miss.
No,
Is
it's a
nine.
miss.
Yeah, lovely miss. Thank you.
That's that.
Consistency. It's going to strike back at you. Well, I say strike
Yeah.
back. Not really strike back, is it? It's more just sort of an unanswered series of pummelings on you. The first, it's armor class. Let's have a look. Oh, that might be a miss. Armor class 12.
Miss.
Cock. And the second attack hits armor class 11.
Miss.
Damn and blast! So the two of you are on this bridge, missing each other.
Missing each other just
Up
swing wildly.
yeah. So the one on Burple is going to keep going against Burple, and the first attack hits armor class 16, which is going to be a hit on Burple. Burple takes a grand total of 3 points of damage.
Still
And then the
alive.
second attack. It's a 17 on the dice for armor class 21.
Oh, for God's sake.
Just really not going well here. I don't have another 5 points of damage.
Medic.
And
Oh, wait,
then
that's me.
we are on in Parker Thumpy territory. Thumpy Parker 1. It attacks and hits armor class 15, which is going to hit Parker for a further. Rolled off the 5. 6 points of damage. And then the second attack, it does 3 on the die. Bollocks. It misses. And it's Parker, it's your chance to answer.
Shine.
So, what are you going to do?
How damaged are these two things looking?
Give me just a flat intelligence check.
Just a flat intelligence check.
Just roll. I mean, not as in a flat check. Just give me a straight intelligence check.
yeah.
D20. Add your intelligence mod.
Yeah. 17.
17's very good. Okay, your estimation: the one that's fighting Burple seems to be more wounded than the one that's fighting you. And the one that's fighting Burple, you think might be in the kind of halfish region of power.
I've got 5 hit points. I'm just massively
Same here.
played this combat really bad.
You need to hit, and they need to miss, and it's got to start soon. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Parker, hit one of them.
Well, I've got 3
Take
points,
out the
3 hit
numbers.
points, so I could also run
3.
away.
Attack the one on purple.
Effectively, I can rely on my relentless endurance to take 1 kill.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically, so I've only got, I mean, if it hits me this round and then again the next round, then I'm gone.
Yeah, but if we can try and take one of them down.
Okay, so then sensibly would be to hit the one that's on you at the moment.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll give that one a go.
Selflessly, you want to throw yourself in front of it. Actually, I think
Well,
that's
that's-
really. Just
yeah,
block
yeah.
its sight so it can't see me. I think that's really the best move.
If you move out of the way, both of you, I'll do another chromatic orb at it.
How are we going to do that?
Well, after you
Concentrate.
let you
Move
go.
out,
just
both
move.
move,
Johnny.
out of the way. Well, that's like,
Disengage
no.
action. Yeah.
Don't change targets.
But you're all right, aren't you, Cuthbert?
Yeah.
Anyway, come on, Lucas.
that would be a possibility, Dan. We could both move out of the way.
No, we can't.
Well, you can take the
Not without
disengage
attacks.
action.
Yes, we can. That's true. We can take.
So
the
you'd forfeit any attack.
Yeah,
But you
we-
can take the
and
disengage.
then Johnny can do the orb, and then they're going to move up to us, and then we can attack them again, but they're weakened.
Well, only. Oh no, sorry.
It's only one of them, isn't it?
Maybe if you just get out of the way, Lucas, after you've had your attack,
Well, I can't do that.
then I can get my orb in.
I can't
think.
attack and disengage.
Mm.
No. I think we just go for broke.
All right. 15.
15 is a hit.
Lovely. 5 points.
Okay.
And then
Didn't like that very much.
an 18.
18's another hit.
3 points.
Is that from your flurry of blows? Is that that's
Yeah.
a
No,
hand
that's not
attack?
flurry of blows. That's just the
Second
unarmed
attack.
strike.
The unarmed strike. Yeah. How much
So
damage?
the-
Sorry, 3 points.
Yeah. So there's 5 points magical and 3 points non-magical.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Okay.
That's on the one that's on.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yes,
isn't
it's
it?
the one that's the northernmost
that's
one. The
on
one
purple.
that's the one that's concentrating on purple. Yeah, got it. Well, that was a good round. And then Sessions. Maybe Sessions can hit it as well with the thingy.
The spinning
Crashing coin. Crushing
crushing coin
Crushing
thunders
coin.
down towards its head.
Mhm.
Plus 12.
Armor class 12 is a miss.
And I will try Toll the Dying again on it.
Okay, it's got to make a wisdom save. Yeah.
Yep.
It rolls a
There we go.
17 on the wisdom save. So I don't know what to say.
My God.
It's these new blue dice of mine. They're just
Blue
absolutely
dice.
rolling
Blue
rocks. Anything else from Sessions?
Not anything else I can do. I could
A
move
sigh of despair.
a sigh of despair. Oh, actually, no. What I will do, sorry, I will edge a
Yeah,
little bit closer because actually I can't get up to them in one move otherwise. Should I need to?
gotcha. What? And the sort of as a sort of
As
medic.
the desperate run up and use my one remaining first level
Yeah.
spell to heal someone.
Okay, Grimbold, it's time for you to change the fortunes of everybody with an astonishing round of power and
That's probably
success.
Right, I'm going to do a firebolt because I'm
At?
running out of spells. At the one on Cuthbert.
Yes.
no.
I mean, I have got some
Okay.
spells
No.
left. I just want to.
Do you know what? I wouldn't do that. So I'm quite selfishly saying, take out the guns.
Yeah.
But
This one's taken no
Go-
damage.
go
really
for
no
I
it.
damage.
can't
on
hit anybody.
Grimbold.
Everybody's in the way.
Yeah, he hasn't got a line to.
So
Oh, okay.
Purple and
I'll
Parker
move
are
up. I'll move up towards the Burple and that lot.
Mm-hmm.
But on the way, I'm going to fire a bolt at the one on you.
Yeah, got it.
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
Add 4 to this. No, actually, can I change my mind?
No.
No.
Right,
No.
I'm going to move 5,
Yeah. Can I change my
10,
mind?
15, 20,
I never would have done
25,
that.
But I never would have done that.
I never would have done
30.
that. It could not have been me. The thing I said I did, I didn't do. Can't you see?
Okay, fast, efficient.
Fast what?
Fast and efficient.
Fast and efficient.
Efficient.
Well, not that efficient.
Well,
Fast and ineffective.
still alive, aren't I?
Right.
Thing is, it's quick. you
Okay,
see. That's the point.
Purple Happy.
Yeah, I'm going to use the withdraw action.
Disengage action. Great, fantastic.
Oh god. Okay, do I hit it with a non-magical rapier or do I try the spell that it's always saving against?
What's your DC
13.
of the spell?
Yeah.
I mean, it's less than 50%, isn't it? What plus is he?
How much
rolling?
damage does the spell do?
The spell does 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh well, go for it. Come on.
It's got to fail eventually.
Yeah, it's got to
It's got
fail
to
eventually.
fail.
Okay, Mike.
Basically, save
I think you have
twice
to
in a
sing
row.
it, Dan. You have to put some
Okay.
passion into it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to do dissonant whispers.
Okay, Dissonant Whispers. And what am I
Yes.
doing? Making a saving throw
I'm doing
DC 1?
dissonant whispers. Yeah, DC 13 wisdom save.
Okay, here we go. With the lovely
Here we go.
blue dice. Rolling.
He's going to be rolling.
9, it's a fail.
It's a
The song works.
The song
It's
works.
They've actually got a
3d6.
dreadful. They've actually got a dreadful wisdom save, and they just keep rolling absolute monsters. Okay, so what's
Well,
the
they are
damage?
monsters, aren't they? They're not
Well, they are
monsters.
monsters.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just wondering if I can throw in a d6 from my bardic inspiration. It's going to
No, I think
die
that's
with
D20 roll. Yeah.
Add it- or saving throw. Oh, saving! That's on me. No, I can't do it on damage. It's next level I can do it on
Here we
damage.
go, 3d6.
Okay, so, 3d6. Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on.
Here we go.
gonna be-
3d6.
It's going to be
It's going to be 3.
It's going to be 18.
It's going to be 3.
No,
Here
it's
they
going to
are.
be 18.
On the
It's a big
Here
one.
they
It's a
come.
big one.
On the
Dissonant
other side.
whispers.
Here they go.
14.
14 points of damage. 14 points of damage, and
Magical
it
psychic
collapses.
damage.
It collapses.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
Awesome.
It shrivels under the power of your psychic monstrousness, and it is dead.
I'll just look at Grimbold ever so, just a little glance. A knowing glance, arch one eyebrow.
Which one are you looking at? I've got there's 4 images in it.
Yeah.
All of
Can't
them.
read it.
The one that's looking terrified and scared.
That'll be all of
Yeah, you
them.
can always tell.
They all
Monsters
look
can
like
always
that.
tell which one is the real Grimbold. Right, Cuthbert. Here we go. I sense things are swinging in your favour.
No, honestly. Here we go.
Things
Rapier
are,
up,
things are
push him
swinging
off.
in your favour. Cuthbert is swinging in. Ooh, hello. 14 is a
Armor
miss.
class 19. Armor class hitting armor class 19.
Armor class 19 is a hit for 6
For
points of damage. What are you attacking it with?
That was a rapier.
Okay, yeah, you've done a little bit of damage on it, not as much as you would be hoping.
And then I have the +1 short sword
Ah, the +1 short sword.
Ah,
Here we go.
+1 short sword ploy.
of the East Wind.
Armor class 17 is also a hit.
Doing a massive 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. Okay, and that seemed to land properly. It's looking... It's not looking unwell, but it's not looking happy. You've finally done a bit of damage on it, and it's chance to try and hit you. The lovely blue dice of power. Here they come. First attack. It's armor class. Oh, 7 is a miss.
That's a miss.
And second
That's
attack hits armor class. It's a 20.
Oh. But we don't do.
Yeah, we do.
criticals.
We do criticals. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Lovely
No,
criticals.
we
Here it
don't.
comes. What a lovely critical roll. 9 points of damage.
And in fact, I've got the critical table right here from the Arden Grimoire.
Yeah, we were bringing them in at the end of last session.
Head
Head
pulped
pulped
over a
wide
wide area.
Body split in two.
And then the remaining one up here has got to choose whether or not to attack Parker or Burple Herpish.
Well, it's been attacking Parker. I mean, you know it's going to be Parker.
Yeah, so and it's up for a change, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's up for a change. You're going to
No,
change
it's
things.
really annoyed. It's really annoyed.
It's good.
that You just killed its friend.
Its little head is
Yeah.
swiveling backwards and forwards, looking
Yeah.
confused.
This thing is programmed to just attack until it's
1 to 3.
destroyed. So,
1 to 3 Parker.
it's
Four-
not going to change the
one-
target, is it?
1 to 3 Parker. 4 to 6 Burple.
Roller 4 to 6.
1 to 3 Parker. 4 to 6
4
Burple.
to
Here we go.
6. Roller 4 to 6.
What does he go? What does he get? It's a 5. It's oh fuck. Oh shit! Here comes the blue dice of doom. Oh, it's a 16 hitting armor class 20.
Oh,
and Purple's
dear.
in all sorts of trouble now.
Yeah, but you haven't
4
taken that
more
much
points of
damage.
damage.
I've got 5 hit points left.
Okay, well, maybe
I've
not for
got
long.
one-
Here comes the other attack.
I've got 1 hit point left.
It's a miss. A 7. It's a miss. You thought it was all
Sessions
over.
is stepping up to the plate now.
Right, Parker, it's your go.
Oh, right. Lovely. Well, we'll try... Continue with the same tactic, basically. Seems to be the way to
What,
go.
rolling high numbers?
Shillelagh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, rolling misses. There you go. That's
Yeah, that's it.
fantastic.
No, that's Paul's tactic. Don't use that one.
Thank you very much.
Didn't you have a bardic inspiration you could use?
Yeah, but it won't.
Oh, and you have to
Make
say,
it
oh no, I've
16.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So I'll do the unarmed strike. 24.
Oh, it's a,
That's a
it's
critical.
a critical.
Natural, yeah, it's critical.
Okay, so roll the damage
Um,
dice twice and add the modifier. A solid thump upon the armor.
So
creature.
7 points of damage.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's not looking that wounded, I have to say. You're not really cutting
Do
through.
you want to step slightly around the side of it? What's your
Parker.
face? Parker. Yes, my lady. Around the other side, because I can do a spell at it then.
Oh, I see what you mean. I can step to the north.
You can step between
Yes, you're
Purple and
still
Thingy, yeah,
not moving
exposing
out.
it
I
to
can-
Grimbold, if you see what I mean.
Can you now hit its Grimbold?
Well, I've got a line of sight.
Yes. Okay. Well, then we'll do that. So if I step to the north, then Grimbold has a line of sight to it, and that's my round.
Okay, it's Sessions Epa.
Okay, pound in with another smashing attack from the crushing coin.
How long does this last, this spell?
Oh,
Ooh,
ages. That's a very good question. It lasts a minute.
So you got ages left, yeah.
So in it comes, thundering in. Oh,
Oh, hello.
Armor class 20.
Yeah, on class 20 is a hit.
4 points of damage as it
Okay.
clips him round the ears.
Yeah, force damage though, right? So it seems to affect it
Force
normally.
damage, yeah.
Okay.
And I will also try Toll the Dying on it again.
Another wisdom
It's
save.
got to
Go
fail
on.
eventually.
Yeah.
Here comes the blue dice of doom. Roll. 1. That's a
Yeah.
fail.
Lovely.
Deary me. Things have changed.
As it's being damaged, it takes a crushing 3 points of additional damage.
3 points of additional damage. Damage.
That's awesome.
It's looking not so great.
And I will edge a bit further towards the north, so that if Dan needs healing, if Purple,
got it.
then he can withdraw in that direction.
Nice round. Very nice round. Grimbold, time for you to answer your critics.
Right.
And not be shit.
Your chance to finish it off.
Right, I'm going to do a chromatic orb.
Uh-huh.
But I'm doing it as a second level spell.
Ooh.
Oh. So add 5 to this roll. 16.
16 is a hit. Spoink.
Right, that's 48.
Whoa.
What?
And that's because you've used a higher
Yep.
level spell slot.
Yes.
Yeah.
22
Fucking
points
hell.
of damage.
Finally wakes
damage.
up and does something.
It's absolutely vaporized.
Are you clapping yourself?
So he is. Yeah.
Thanks.
It's absolutely destroyed.
Shameless.
What?
Oh, gone. Done.
That was the one against. Oh, sorry, which one did you target?
It's fried.
Which one?
And this is why you need to keep the primary.
You were
spell
attacking.
using
You were
as
attacking the one on
spell.
Parker, right?
That's right. And then I'm going to do my move.
Yeah.
I'll just move down towards Cuthbert.
And now it's purple.
Well, that changes my round. I don't need to use the withdraw action anymore, so I can do a Dissonant Whispers, of which I have one more. Do I actually want to do that? Do I actually want to do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to move and stand next to Sessions.
Sensible, safe place to stand.
A sensible, a Healy place to stand, with my 1 hit point, and I shall. How many heals have you got, Graham? Have you got lots?
No, I have like one.
Okay, I've got one.
Heal as well.
Because I have like no spells left. I didn't know I have so few spells.
Actually, I could do Dissonant Whispers as a second level spell. Why don't I do that? I will do that. I will do Dissonant Whispers as a second level spell and save my first level Healy spell slot.
DC is still the same. DC 13.
Or I could do a heal as a second level, get an extra 1d8.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, could do that. And just use the Dissonant Whispers at the first level.
I'm just wondering whether it's worth us healing things we're all going to be doing. I mean, at the moment, Cuthbert is the one which is going to attack. If we can all do ranged spells from basically
Yes.
where Grimbold is.
No. I'm going to do an attack. It's whether I do Dissonant Whispers as a first level or a second level spell. What is the most effective? We're going to take a rest after this anyway, aren't we?
I would think.
So why don't I do Dissonant Whispers as a second level spell?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. Just check the range, 60 feet.
Yeah, you'll have to move a little.
Yeah, I'll move forward another 5 feet.
Okay, and then you're going to target the one on the bridge fighting Cuthbert with this.
Target the one on the bridge,
Boosted.
fighting Cuthbert with a second level Dissonant Whispers spell. That's a Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
DC 13.
Of course, it's going to
Here
save.
comes the blue dice of power. No, it rolls a 5.
no, it
It
doesn't.
fails its
Fails,
save.
so it's 4d6.
Whoa, hello.
It does 19 points.
19
Oh,
points of
God, that's
damage.
amazing.
It's looking very shaky now as a result of that spell.
Oh
Basically,
my
the
God.
spellcasters have come good in this because everything else was just not happening.
Well, the main spell cost. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Well, I've killed one and done 19
I
damage,
think
so, yeah.
I've been massively effective. It's nice of you all to acknowledge.
Yeah, well done, Graham. I think you've been great this
He's
combat.
referring to me.
Congratulations.
it's a
Consistent damage dealing.
compliment only paid
Yeah.
by somebody who's on 1 hit point. I think the cleric's been amazing. what's happening with Cuthbert? It's your round, mate.
Well, Cuthbert is going to stay to the course, and he's going to attack. Firstly, was the rapier.
Oh, it's a 20.
It's a 20.
What's the
and
damage on
he's
that?
doing
10 points in total.
3.
10 points.
10 points in total. Okay, fine. It's still alive.
And then he's going to do with the +1 short sword of the east wind.
Yeah.
Armor class 16,
16 is a hit,
doing 8 points of damage.
and it collapses and falls off the bridge down into the pit.
I think.
Very nicely done.
Finally.
Hurrah.
Well, that was tight.
Yes.
What's
Well,
next?
you're left in this chamber.
Loot the bodies.
You've got the bridge is going out to this sort of, there's like a ring walkway in the center, which this column of
So these-
air is blowing up through from the pit below you and up into the ceiling, where it sort of disappears into this kind of almost daylight style illumination coming out of the center of the ceiling.
Oh, these automata,
Yeah,
now that they're dead, are they just empty suits of armor?
they're just
or
empty
what
suits
are
of
they?
armor.
Okay.
But the
Any magic on them? Search them.
short swords are short swords. There's nothing magical. The armor is human-sized. I mean, I can check what armor it is. I think it's probably scale mail's. Scale mail's armor class 15, right?
No idea.
Okay,
Scale
well, let's look into that. So the armor is armor, and I'm going to say that you can use it. And the short swords are short swords. I mean, they're just standard short swords.
Do we want to take a short rest?
Yeah.
before we do anything else?
I've got one spell. I've got one first
I've
level
got
spell.
one spell left.
I have 2.
Yeah. So I can do. I've
Why don't
got
we start with short
cure
rest?
wounds.
You've got what?
I've got 2 cure wounds.
I've got one cure wounds.
I've
Well,
got
You've got your own
plenty.
cure wounds. Why am I doing cure wounds on you? Why am I wasting my spells on you? Answer me that. I'm going to sing while we do a short rest. I'm going to say, everybody's feeling better. It's a really lovely time.
Get the earplugs out.
I'm really getting into character.
Yeah,
here.
it
Well,
is.
Yeah, I think it's
It's half plate. This armor.
It's half
Oh,
plate.
it's human. It's medium-sized half plate.
Well, we'll take that. We'll take.
got-
We'll take them.
Two suits. You got 2 suits of half plate.
Two swords.
and the sort of whirlwindy effect in the middle.
Whirlwind effect in the middle comes out of the center of the pit, runs up through the center of the room in a column, goes through the middle of the ring, which is the walkway in the center, and then straight up and into the light of the ceiling. If you spend an hour doing a short rest, can everybody give me a perception check?
Perception check. A 21, man. That's awareness, man.
Okay, so Parker, with your 21 perception while you're taking your short rest, you think you heard a very soft noise, basically, pretty much completely drowned out by the sound of this kind of rushing column of air in the middle of the room. But you did hear something very soft. And you're the only person that heard anything.
Right. Well, I tell everybody else to be quiet for a minute.
And it's difficult to pick anything out because of the sound of this,
Right. Was it slippery, slidey,
No, more.
scrabbling?
No, it wasn't, and it didn't sound. It more of a kind of, I hesitate to say, like maybe a rustle or a kind of the sound of something brushing something else. It was very, very gentle.
Well, like clothing.
But it could be, it could have been. To be honest, it's difficult for Parker to be sure that he didn't just hear from the other side of the room one of you, brushing clothing against something else. It really is that kind of faint.
Okay.
Don't like it.
I mean, this is during your rest. We'll say this is like half an hour in, so you can make a decision
So
now.
I'm still at 1 hit point.
Yes,
so-
yes, you can make a decision now to go and have a look, or you could wait until your rest is complete.
Or someone else can on 1 hit point.
I'm
I
happy
ain't
to go
going
and
nowhere.
take a look down the passage where we
Sessions?
came in. Yep. So I will make my way to the entry. I think there's no door at our end.
Well, there's the door that the ghost left open for you, and then you have the balance beam across the little chasm filled with the metal spheres, and then you have the door that you came through, which is just a face with an open mouth. You can see all the way
Yep.
through that. I mean, what's your? Well, you can see actually because the blue lantern is still lit at the bottom of the shaft at the end of the corridor, where you climbed up.
Mhm.
So you have got a little bit of ambient light. You'd certainly be able to see if there's anything silhouetted there or in the corridor. Seems absolutely quiet. No sound of anything, no movement or motion, nothing.
Okay. Well, I think from the end that we're at, I will stand watch.
Okay,
I
well,
don't think I need to go into that chamber. And I seem to recall we climbed down and along the bottom to get past the
yeah,
the ball firing thing. So I don't really want to do that on my own.
no,
Are
you
you expecting the bad guys to come along?
Well, someone possibly, yeah.
Do you want some support?
Well, I will call if we need. Do you need to rest? Probably not. You probably are
Right.
unwounded, so you might as well come and stand with me, and we can watch down the corridor.
the two cousins.
The two cousins.
You two can kind of staying as quiet as you can. You've got a good sight of this passageway. There's absolutely, you can't hear anything at all, and there's no motion or movement. There's no sound of anything moving around, and the light from the blue lantern at the end of the corridor is not being disturbed or broken or anything. Nothing happens in the remaining half hour of your short rest, so you're now all revivified to whatever extent. I don't know.
So what happens if you drop a pebble into the air column?
With a light spell on it.
Yeah.
If you drop a pebble into the air column with a light spell on it, that's a very good question. It's picked up by the column of air and relatively sedately lifted up, and it just travels up the column to the ceiling and doesn't come back down.
I'm going to gently step into the column of air.
You're going to step into the column.
Take a leap of faith.
Cuthbert steps into the column of air, and he is gently lifted up and then disappears up into the light of the ceiling.
Okay, well, let's go.
But we can't see him up there.
No, like I said, the apex of the ceiling is a domed ceiling. Daylight intensity light emitting from the center of the ceiling. And this column of air disappears up into that light.
Well, okay, I'll follow.
So Parker's
Do you
going
think
as well.
maybe we should?
Is somebody going to tell Grimbold and Sessions what you're doing? As they busily...
Yeah, I'm going back up there. That way.
So Grimbold, you're returning into the main part of the room. And is everybody going to jump into this column of air or what?
Don't you think
Yeah.
that maybe some of us should tie something so we can pull ourselves down?
No,
No, we're all going to commit
We're all
the.
dead. We're all
Yeah.
dead.
in for a
and that's
penny,
that.
in for a pound.
Yeah.
We are the TPK or
Okay. In you all go.
40 years of D&D experience.
And one at a time, you are whooshed up by this pillar of air, and you arrive in a chamber.
It's called level 4, isn't
It's
it?
a rectangular room. The pillar of air deposits you at one end of this rectangular room, and the air column is still sort of, as it were, I'm trying to think of the right word, evacuating into the room. Yeah. So there's a sort of breeze swirling around. It scoops you up, and then it gently deposits you to one side. So you're all standing, as it were, in a cluster around this column of air. And then the rest of the room runs off to the south of you. There is a set of 3 short stairs. And then at the top of those stairs is a raised area, and on that raised area is a white marble sarcophagus, and it's identical to the one in the room with the coloured lanterns far below.
Does it have a
Mhm.
Does it have a rune or a symbol on it?
Yes, it has the sculpted humanoid figure carved into the lid, just as in the room below. It looks
Has it
identical.
got any lanterns?
There's no lanterns.
Don't mention lantern. Please don't do lantern.
Above the sarcophagus, on the far wall, there is a beautifully carved bas relief, and it depicts the same figure. So this is the figure on the sarcophagus.
Mhm.
It depicts this
Yeah.
figure as a bald, androgynous warrior wearing a simple ancient garment and wielding a mighty longsword.
Mm.
But in this depiction, on the left of the warrior, there stands a cloaked demoniac figure with 2 long curved horns tipped in darkest red. And the horned figure is holding a device that looks like it's composed of a handle and a small loop, and it's seemingly using that loop to control a globe of absolute blackness about 2 feet in diameter.
Oh,
Sphere of
annihilation.
Mhm.
The globe is touching the bald warrior, who is raising his arm in surprise, and the warrior is depicted as if fading from sight. There's a slim diadem on his brow, bears an elaborate ovular glyph identical to the one carved upon the amulet worn by the figure on the sarcophagus lid. Can somebody give me a perception check?
Yes, I can. It's an enormous
20.
24.
Okay, so Cuthbert and Parker
19.
both notice something. Well, and Burple, you all notice the same final detail, which is that this demoniac figure has 1 green and 1 grey eye.
Kill Cuthbert.
Cuthbert
Scaly.
Scaly.
What do you want to do?
Paul, Cuthbert is a. Can you check the sarcophagus for traps?
And detect magic.
Well, I can't detect magic.
Who can do detect magic?
This
I
sarcophagus
can
look
do
like it
detect magic.
moves in the same way the one downstairs did? or
Well,
does it
from
seem-
where you're all standing around at the far end of the room, it's difficult to make out much more detail than you've got.
Ah, so we have to advance then.
To have a proper look at it, you'd have to climb the little flight of stairs and go up onto the platform. Yeah.
I will climb the stairs stealthily, and I'm going to do I imagine it's going to be a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to check some foot traps.
Yeah.
Getting an 18.
Okay. 2 things happen. The first thing that happens is that your quick perception check when you mount the stairs, you feel that the lid of the sarcophagus is unbroken. The sarcophagus downstairs, you detected a hairline crack that ran around. Yeah.
Yeah.
This time it's a sealed unitary object. The second thing that
So there is no lid. It is
it
just
is
one
was
thing.
one thing.
Yeah.
The second thing that happens is that as soon as you step on and you're peering at this sarcophagus, the bas relief sculpture animates, and the warrior looks directly at you. Yes, looks
Mhm.
into your eyes, in fact, Cuthbert.
Yes.
It seems to speak, and in your mind, in common, you hear "Speak my name," and then it fades the image, and then the image fades back into the fresco.
Zosial, isn't it?
What are you going to say?
Is it Zosial?
When you say the word Zosial, bright blue
Yeah.
light shines around the sarcophagus lid, fades a few seconds later, and now you can see a seam between the lid and the rest of the sarcophagus.
Oh.
Okay. Can I do a check?
What do you want to do?
For
What kind of check do you want to
traps?
do? And what are the rest of you doing?
Mike,
Mhm.
quick question.
Mhm.
Thinking back to my vision when I
I thought you were going to say childhood. Remember?
Yeah.
yes, going back to the hypnotic therapy.
You're back in the room.
When I looked back in the day, when I looked in the sensor,
Yes.
and I saw the can, and I saw the figure with the
Yeah.
blue eye and the green eye.
Yeah.
Looking at this figure now,
The demon figure.
yes.
Yeah. You don't think that you could have mistaken one for the other? No.
Right. Okay. So back in the day, it wasn't that I was just like concentrating on the eyes, and now I realised that I wasn't actually seeing colour.
In the vision, you understood that you had seen a figure, and that figure had one green and one grey eye.
Try and push the sarcophagus lid off.
Well, I'm going to wiggle my eyebrows.
Oh God! Everybody has to
I'm
duck.
gonna try
Yeah.
I'll wiggle Paul's eyebrows back.
and I'm going to push the sarcophagus lid.
Okay. Give me a strength check.
Really? Okay. Give me a second. It's just a straight roll. Yeah, there we go. Not very good with the
No,
4.
you put your weight against the lid, and it's not budging.
Is this a check? Am I allowed to reroll again?
Yeah, you can have another go if you like.
I will assist.
I can use a crowbar.
Okay. So other people are climbing up the steps as well, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So are you all gathering around the sarcophagus?
Yes.
Okay, you gather around the sarcophagus. You can roll to assist. Somebody give me a strength check. Let's get this. Let's see what happens.
A strength check. Well,
12.
12 is enough. And very gently and very smoothly, the lid slides away to reveal the contents of the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
It's
We're waiting.
Magic.
In
Ah,
there,
magic.
within the sarcophagus, is all that remains of Zosial. There is no body. There is a slight silver diadem inscribed with that Zosial glyph.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Look, exactly like the one that he is wearing in the bas relief above the sarcophagus.
So it's a sort of okay. Detect magic.
Well, do you want me to continue to describe what else you find, or do you want to do?
Actually, go on, do that
Okay.
first. Yeah.
There are also two long, slightly curved black horns with red tips.
Uh-huh.
There is a pewter box. The top of it is inscribed with alien, writhing letter form. There is a long sword. It looks exactly like the long sword that Zosial is wielding in the picture.
Take the long sword.
And there is a simple set of clothing, it's slightly larger than standard human size. It's very well preserved. It's a sort of simple white shift of some slightly iridescent material. That is what you see.
Okay, I'll do a detect magic
You detect magic. Now,
on the contents of the sarcophagus.
tell me about detect
and
magic.
the room.
Tell me what it does. Give me a quick reminder.
Well, it basically, for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
There is a magical aura around the simple piece of clothing, the shift. There is a magical aura around the long sword. There is a magical aura around the pewter box. There is a magical aura around the diadem, but there is no magical aura around the horns. They seem to be mundane.
Okay.
We should take them anyhow, I think.
Somebody
Can I get the
somebody give me
schools?
an Arcana check or something, having a look at this box. If you're looking at this box and looking at the glyphs,
9. That's not really
you don't recognise what those
21.
21. You think that those glyphs.
Or 1.
Okay, so what
It's a
session
lunchbox.
You think it's a Snoopy lunchbox. You think that these writhing glyphs are those of the Queen of Chaos. The Queen of Chaos was the dark figure that the Wind Dukes fought all those years ago. Somebody give me a
Right.
perception check.
13.
13's enough.
seems-
13's enough.
This is rolling percentile. That was a bit of a
This is
Yeah.
Sorry,
Graham got a
19.
yeah.
5.
Those fine. 13's fine. 19's enough. As you're inspecting this box, I'm not saying anybody's touching it or doing anything, getting too close, but just as in the act of, as it were, surveying it or appraising it, your feeling is that it's sealed because the pewter that it's made of, the lid, is actually melted so that it's sealed. So it's not sealed with any kind of mechanism. It looks like it's sealed through the metal melting around the edges, and you don't know that it would be. You don't think it would be that difficult to kind of snap it open if you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. I think we need to Hesti Testapod to have a look at that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I reckon that maybe Zosiel's soul is stored in the diadem.
Could be.
I think the sword is mine, and so are the clothes.
Strangely
excuse
enough,
me.
I seem to think they got
No.
my name written on at least the class.
Excuse me. Excuse
well,
me.
they're-
The
no, Graham,
sword.
they're-
The sword
they're
is
non-magical.
mine.
They're non-magical. I just need a normal long sword, and this one seems
Sword
fine.
is mine. Frontline fighter.
Non-magical.
Yeah.
Frontline fighter.
The good news is we know you so well.
I'm the frontline fighter.
Don't forget you're loaning that sword off me, Paul.
Which
so-
Sword of the West Wind.
East wind.
Johnny, if I get this sword, I can, and it's better, I'll give you the other one back.
Yeah, or if you roll for something that I want, then you have to give it me.
Yeah, bollocks.
I'm not seeing any magical auras at all, apart from on the
No,
box,
really. Mike,
which I think is
I'm going to just take the sword
really nice.
and hold it. I'm going to reach in, pick the sword up.
It feels better than the usual longsword.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Wow.
Right, well, now that I've got the diadem and the clothes, what are we doing?
We're attacking Graham.
Sessions takes advantage of the absolute outrage of everybody watching Cuthbert grab the sword to snaffle the clothing and the diadem.
You look back and the thing, everything else is missing. It's like, all right, come on, who did it?
It just looks a bit fatter than normal.
Anybody going to pick up the box?
No, the box I'm picking up with the mage hand.
You're picking up the
Okay.
box with a mage hand. Yeah, you can pick it up. It's less than £5, whatever it is. When you pick it up, there's something underneath it.
Oh, is there?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like the base of the box has got. It's got like it's recessed at the base, so there was enough space for something to be sitting underneath it and concealed. There's a little necklace there. With
Okay, I'll take that.
6 beads on it.
Oh, necklace
Oh.
of fireball.
It's a Negolas of fireballs.
That's mine.
That should go for the premier magic user.
Exactly. Thank you, Paul.
No, but I want the sword. I don't want the. I don't want.
Premier magic user,
I,
Dan.
But I want the clothes.
I now seem to be wearing them.
Every time.
Chaos.
every
Come
time
on,
you
what
turn
was
They
the
do
roll?
this.
Magic's
They
rolling
just
to
argue
do
about
that.
magic constantly.
must be
I'm really sorry about this, guys.
Looks different,
For those poor readers out there
First he's a
listening,
bit fatter, then you turn around,
I
now he's
don't know
very
what to
white.
say.
Now his clothes seem to
just
be
every
white
time
rather
any
than
magic
purple or
appears, they
brown.
just argue about it for. Oh, you're back. Sorry, I was. I was just talking across you at our
Absolute
reader.
chaos.
I can only apologise to anybody who's still listening.
We've really got to sort out this magic rolling
Why
system.
why don't we actually roll for the magic?
Let's go and visit Hesti
Shall we-
Testapod.
Is there anything? Okay, I've got this detect magic running, right? So it's concentration. Run it around the room, you know, kind of.
The bas relief is magical. The sarcophagus is
Yeah.
magical. I mean, it's a kind of magic-y room, but there's not
It's
a
a
distinct object.
Okay.
Search under the sarcophagus.
It's
For
not
any
an
false
under kind
compartment.
of thing. No, it's just. Oh, I see. Within, no, you don't find any little secret compartments or anything like that. No.
Search the rest of the room.
Nah, pretty standard. You think you found
Okay.
the true tomb of Zosiel, having spent weeks clambering around with lanterns in the false tomb.
Can we just go back over the lanterns?
Yeah, well, let's go from the beginning.
Okay, so back the way we
Mhm.
came, searching everywhere in minute detail, exhaustive
Hang on.
search.
Did a search of that room
I think we're going
find
to be
anything
attacked on the
else?
way
Which
out.
room?
Which room?
that we've just been in with the sarcophagus?
No.
No.
I mean, what do you want? You've got like loads of stuff. diadem.
Well, no, I was thinking more along the lines of,
You
secret
got the
door,
magic-y box. you got the
secret
sword.
doors,
Yeah,
or
but
something like that.
that's fine for me. But what's everyone else got?
Well, I said earlier, I've got a diadem and some new white robes.
No,
Can I
seem
just
to have
point
a
out
diadem
we're going
and
to
white
be?
robes and a
Can I
sword.
just point out we're going to be attacked on the way out? Almost certainly.
Well, what is
Especially-
the way out?
At least you're worried. I think you have to survive each other first.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, because we're going to be attacked on the way out, I think I should carry the nigglers of fireballs just in case we need to use it.
Excellent. Johnny, you've got
Alright,
the necklace of
let's-
Bibles.
In all seriousness, let's see it. Let's try and distribute the stuff. So we don't know what half of this stuff does, though. That's the problem. So what do the clothes
Yeah.
do, Mike? Do I feel? When I put them on, do I feel
Well,
faster?
since I'm already wearing them, I feel. How do I feel?
Okay, so if Sessions is wearing them, he looks.
Yeah, I'll climb in with
Yes,
Sessions.
if Sessions is wearing the mantle, as it's called, he looks like a 5-year-old wearing a grown-up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's not.
Trailing.
It's not suitable for a small.
I
no,
can
creature.
take it off.
It's not.
Have you never worn clothes that are a little bit too big?
It's not
Little
currently.
bit.
Yeah, like
Hand me downs. This is what happens.
Hand me downs.
Zosiel in the bas relief animates and goes, "Hand me down." It's a little roomy on a hobbit.
It's a little bit. Yeah. I'm sure it's still effective.
Is it impractically roomy on a
It's
hobbit?
practically roomy on a
He
hobbit.
says leading.
I am not.
It is.
I am not. I am not ruling out that it couldn't be gathered, tucked away, folded, stitched in such a way that it would be wearable. But it is not.
He would look ridiculous.
Well, still look ridiculous. Yeah.
Still, will look more ridiculous.
I think it's part of the image.
So, does anything happen to him when he puts the cloaks on?
The mantle.
When you don the mantle, Sessions, it's massively too big for you, but it does feel like it is offering you some protection. Yes.
I'll gather it up around me and
Waddle.
bottle.
Okay, thanks for testing that out, Graham. You can take them off now.
How does the diadem feel, by the way?
Are you wearing the diadem, Sessions?
I think so.
Placing it on your brow.
Yes.
Okay, on it slips. It fits perfectly. You feel better than you did before you put it on. But in
Cleverer.
a way, well,
More attractive,
Constitution.
tougher,
Healthier.
faster.
no, more,
A bit wiser.
maybe a little wiser. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, a little
clearly
Perfect for the cleric.
perfect.
Okay, okay, take your clothes off.
He's too wise to do that now.
I feel like the wiseness is good for me.
Yeah, I think the wiseness is probably good for you. I think the fireballs is probably good for Johnny. Although Johnny, can anyone else use the fireballs? Can I use the fireballs?
I think anyone can.
You've taken a leap in terms of your appraisal of what it is.
Yes, that's true. That's true. We have. Okay, well, using my Arcana leaping knowledge
Mm-hmm.
skill.
You don't think you're miles off?
Yeah, it's some kind
Can
of.
I do an Arcana check on the robes?
Their protection. It's a mantle of protection.
Mantle of protection.
It offers he
Okay.
feels more protected. I hesitate to say that yeah, again, don't
Okay.
leap too fast.
Yeah.
I'll take the nigglers.
Mhm.
As I swing that sword around
Yeah.
and compare it to the short sword of the East Wind,
Which you don't need anymore. Can I have it back, please?
how do I feel?
What, the longsword
Yeah.
feels like it very similarly better to a normal longsword than the short sword is to a normal short sword.
Okay, I'll just take it and keep both them.
So it's a +1 longsword.
Yeah. Of the other East Wind,
The west wind.
whatever wind.
Okay.
Okay, I'll
Um,
take that one.
and then we've got this eerie box that we probably don't want to open.
Mhm.
Let's open it.
No.
No, we're going to take that back to Hesti Testapod.
We're gonna go to Hesti.
Is that everything?
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's a sword, the clothing, the box, the diadem, and the nigglers.
Nicholas.
Okay.
And how do we get out of here?
Well, hang on. Let's distribute the magic first.
I thought we just had. Johnny gets Nicholas.
Well, I might want the nigglers. I might want the sword, and I might want the clothing, and I might want the diadem. Probably not the diadem.
Well,
What?
I think the diadem works good for me.
can we try and give them to the people who need them? And
Yes.
which would work best?
The mantle, I suppose I could take off if you insist.
Let's, please,
once in 20, 40 years.
Yes.
But a mantle
Actually
sounds
go.
like something that somebody who doesn't normally wear armor could use very well.
And that's
Maybe
assuming
like
that it is
a
armor
monk, perhaps.
or a bard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, should we roll for magic then? The old-fashioned way.
Oh,
No, I think we're doing
no.
the intelligent distribution way.
Intelligent distribution.
Okay.
Who does the?
All I would say, Paul, is if you take something, you're going to have to put give me the short sword back,
If I take the longsword, I'll give you the short sword back.
and I can then lend it to someone else.
So you're swapping from 2-weapon fighting to 1-weapon fighting.
No, I've also got a rapier.
You can't use a long sword out. You have to.
Ah,
They both
that's
have to be light weapons.
Well, I don't want the longsword then.
I want the longsword.
Have the longsword then. Do you see how it works? It's great, isn't it? Don't roll
So
any dice.
everybody has got something apart from the monk.
He's got the mantle,
What about Sessions?
diadem.
No, we're all sorted then.
What does
No,
the
I don't
mantle
know.
do?
We don't know. We don't know what any of these items actually
It's
do,
plus-
which makes the distribution more interesting.
I don't take anything.
I used to have identify, but I swapped it out.
That's true.
It's okay. It's all right. If it doesn't make me any better,
Well,
doesn't
at
make
the
me any
moment
better.
you've got the
it's fine.
+1 sword
Yeah, it doesn't make me any better. It's fine.
on loan.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, I'll take the +1 sword.
It might be a +1 sword of something or other.
If we agree what everyone's got, then Mike can tell us what they do, and then we can just
Yeah.
argue again.
Is the plan now we're going back out and we're going to go to Hesti?
Well, I think the first thing is you probably need to attune all these items so that if we've got them, you can actually
Well, we
use
might
them.
want to do a long rest, maybe.
Can we do a long rest?
It's probably quite a good place to do a long rest.
Probably a good place, yeah.
We need a long rest to attune.
I think you need a short
I-
rest.
We've got
I
to
just
get.
like-
We've got to get back out first.
Okay, so you've allocated these items.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have.
Yes,
Okay,
we
and
have.
Maybe.
And what have you decided?
Well, I've got the longsword.
I've got the Nigglers.
Yeah,
I've got the diadem.
And I seem to have the mantle.
Mm-hmm.
and I'll carry the box.
And you step back into the column of air.
Yep.
Column of air gently drops you back, and you're able to step back out onto the little walkway.
So hang on. So
Oh,
are we doing a rest anywhere?
What do you?
I think we're okay.
Yeah, we should probably take a short rest at some point.
I've used all my short rest.
No, but you
I
short rest
actually
attuned
long rest.
items.
I get spells
Ah,
back.
okay.
Long rest, anybody?
Well, I think we should wait up in the room on the other side of the beam because that's kind of defensible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think we should take a long rest in there, keeping an eye on the
An
entrance.
8-hour rest.
Yes,
Okay.
Long rest.
Yep.
Yeah.
long rest.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that.
You're undisturbed.
We go
Brilliant.
up a level. We attune the items.
And are you attuning
That's
items
right.
to yourselves?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
I'm not quite sure how all the old magic identification works, but we're going to be nice. So, who is wearing the diadem?
Sessions is wearing the
And you're
diadem.
attuned to it, and it is a diadem of +1 wisdom.
Oh, but I want that.
The other items do not require attune. Sorry, the sword. Who's got the sword?
I've got the sword.
Okay, that does require attunement. It is a +1 longsword,
Yeah.
but once per day, you can summon a line of thunder force
Right.
that
That
does
sounds good.
requires a DC 13 dexterity save. It's a 20-foot line. Any creatures in the line must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, and they take 2d6 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful save, once per day, and that requires attunement.
Cool.
The necklace is a necklace of
necklace,
fireballs with 6 beads remaining. It doesn't require attunement. The mantle.
What action is the sonic burst, by the way?
Well, it's a standard action to trigger.
Standard action. Okay.
The mantle is magical. It doesn't require attunement. It operates, as it were, as mithril scale mail.
Ooh.
Which means it gives you the armor class of scale mail, which I think is 14, but does not apply any penalties to stealth checks, etc.
Monkish abilities.
Yeah. That's it. And then you've got the
Right.
box, the scary weird box.
It's
And we'll take the How many suits of that other armor do we have? The half plate.
so
Two.
You've got 2 suits of the half plate armor
Okay, I'll take that.
and 4 short
Put
swords.
it in my bag of holding, and the short swords. Put them in my bag of holding.
Yeah, what you imagine is a
Actually-
bag of holding, but is in fact is a massive great bag that you have to carry around with you.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll hand it to my servant, Grimbold.
You hand it to Grimbold. Grimbold faithfully carries everything
Two
for you
holds,
as always.
Too
Yep.
big for me to carry.
And then you're heading out.
I hand it to my servant, which is
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it mithril scale mail?
Yeah. So it acts as scale mail,
Mithril
Parker.
armor.
Yeah. But it has the mithril quality as if it was a magical item, which means that it doesn't have the weight of scale mail and it doesn't apply penalties to things like stealth checks. How are you exiting?
Along the passageway down the
Stage
thing.
Into the lantern room.
Yes, moving. We're trying to be quiet.
You're all travelling together. You're all acting together.
Yeah.
Okay, and out into the lantern room, it's exactly as you left it. Quiet as anything. Little lanterns are all still flickering away. Can you all give me perception checks?
Oh, okay then.
13.
Mm-hmm.
10.
13.
Sessions.
8.
And Grimbold.
6.
That's not a great set of rolls.
Those guys have got 13.
Yeah.
You do hear a sound of some movement. It's down one of the passageways, the orange passageway, and it sort of moves from the orange passageway. Who's got dark vision?
I do.
Me.
I do.
A crow or a raven or something like that. Immediately, Parker, you realise that that's what you heard. Flutters out of the orange passageway and sort of like it's trapped, like it doesn't want to be where it is. Yes.
Mm.
You just pick it up with your perception check. You just hear the kind of the a few wing beats and the kind of scuffle of feathers, and then you realise what it is that you've heard. And if you've got dark vision, you can just make out the slightest of shapes darting around in the main entrance bit.
What does this mean?
I don't know.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, it's somebody's familiar, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
a bird. I mean, who knows what it is?
It's somebody's familiar.
Up the stairs, and
who's
you can see
seen
the
what we've
entrance hall
done.
leading away from you into darkness. You go past the fresco on your right and the rubble where you originally encountered those wolves in your very first exploration. Past the alcoves, and as you get about halfway between that first set of alcoves, the alcove, one of them is just collapsed. The other one is the one where that strange apparatus was. And you get halfway between there and the entrance. Torches light or light spells or something light outside. Yes? You can see your horses silhouetted against the lights. It's like people have lit brands or firebrands or something. Yep. And silhouetted against the light of these brands, a figure steps out about 10, 20 feet from the entrance of the cairn as you're looking down the passageway at it. It's laughing. Hello, boys. And it's the voice of Cubbins, the sheriff. And he's got something. He's holding something in his hand. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
You can make it out silhouetted.
We see the raven anywhere.
Nope.
22.
You work out what it is, Cuthbert. You work out what it is just as he swings it and throws it down rolls it down the passageways towards it. It's a head that he was holding by its hair. Not long hair. And the head rolls towards you, tumbles over and over and over, flips over, and you can see the face. And it's the face of the boy, Morklet Spenge, the kid that you rescued.
Oh,
It's bruised, it's damaged. Cubbins says,
right. He's
Cubbins
gonna
shouts
die.
out at you. He says, it'll probably be some comfort for you all to know that he kept his mouth shut. And as a result, we had to punish him. Luckily, we could talk to somebody else and find out where you were. And now you're all under arrest. And you're coming with me. And you hear the clicks from behind him in the darkness of crossbows being clicked and cocked and readied. And we are done with the Whispering Cairn. Well done, everybody. It's the
Nice.
end of book 1.
What?
We'll pick it up next time with book 2, The Three Faces of Evil. Until then, we'll see you next time.
He's dead.
Man is dead. That was amazing.
So, does book 2 basically start with a fight?
It looks like
It would
it.
appear so.
Or are we like, do we not have a choice and we're arrested and we start in jail?
It's a role-playing game where you make decisions.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Whispering Cairn and The Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Whispering Cairn was written by Eric Mona. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.